Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Garrett Williams pregame chat. This is Gene Mortensen, and we had with the head coach of the Hilltoppers, Garrett Williams. And so, Garrett, last week we took a trip down to Sleepy Hollow there at Academy High School. Beautiful, beautiful afternoon for football. My God, we couldn't ask for anything better, but you guys just couldn't seem to get clicking.
We just, you're right. It kind of is sleepy. It's like playing out in the middle of a park sometimes,
Yes.
So you're always kind of worried, you show up and play a physical game, or you're going to show up and, play out like you're playing a pickup game in a park. And, we just, there were moments throughout the game. I thought we were going to kind of pick it up and get it going, and we just didn't come out and play very physical. For whatever reason, we just offensively we just didn't. We moved the ball here and there. We had about 240 yards of offense. Now we didn't move the ball, but it was just maintaining drives. Got ourselves in, the drives that we did get going, once again, got ourselves in a couple backed up positions, and just couldn't convert on third down. Missed a couple opportunities, came out right after half, thought we were just going to roll down and, do something good, and, end up kind of shooting ourselves in the foot again. But, I thought really on defensively, we did a good job of stopping the run. We did a good job of playing deep from time to time, but it really got down to, kind of that same situation, those third down situations. A lot of times we got them into third and long situations at least once per drive, and a big old QB they have just convert on third down. We did not play very aggressive in the secondary. I don't know if we were just kind of worried about getting beat deep, but they just kind of kept taking what we were given and just hitting us underneath on short stuff and just maintaining drives. And we just could not seem to make that adjustment in the secondary just to come downhill on things and be aggressive and break on balls, and we just kind of sat back and just kept giving them that short stuff, and they just kept taking.
Yeah, he really did. Their quarterback, Andres Rivera, big tall kid, and he had a lot of poise back there. He would drop back and he would really look around the field. But like you say, it just they just kept dumping off these short passes over just to a little bit to one side or the other, or cutting something slant patterns into the middle, and he was hitting those pretty well. And then of course that one pass, he just went for the house, and he just dropped back and just heaved that thing. And we had really good coverage on that.
I think they got two long ones on us. They got two long ones, and really, like, our kids were right there, and those guys made great catches. That's one of those deals. You gotta finish your, finish the play. We were right there, great position on both of them, and just those guys came down with them.
Yeah, Kellen Garris, I think he's the coach's son, but he had quite a game, but that one pass I didn't see how he was going to catch it, because it was all a long pass down 40, 50 yards. And our defender, I think it might have been Jackson Blair, but I'm not sure. But anyway, he was with him every step of the way, and they both went up at the same time, and somehow Kellen came down with it. But you guys just, like you say, I don't know, it's kind of interesting, because you guys come out, like when you came out against, like, say, Milwaukee, for instance, and from the get-go, it was you guys are just clicking on all cylinders there. And I mean, everything just working, great execution. And then I don't know. And then it seems like then you go down to like academy, and then all of a sudden you just can't click like you did the week before.
No, it's been, and the kids are frustrated too. I mean, it's been a little frustrating, these first few games, because there's been times where things just clicked. There's been times where we've just executed just like we've practiced every day. And then there's just times where, sometimes not necessarily the execution's not there, but sometimes just that, I think that attitude, that aggression, you got to come out and, get off the bus and play with some aggression, play with some excitement. And, last week we just, that intensity just didn't seem to be there. It's kind of like the same thing with St. Mike's. That game, we just not quite at that level of intensity that we need to be at, and we can't afford, just. Most of the time we're not going to be the biggest team, so we have to match that level of intensity with people. If we do, we're going to be okay. It's going to be a fight, and we go fight for it. But there's been a couple of those last couple games, that intensity is just, we got to match that. And so that's been kind of, one of the things we've talked about the last, 3 weeks has been, matching that intensity, matching that work ethic, especially during the week. Just, come out with that attitude, have some fun. I was like, hey, we're worried about losing games. Everybody's lost games. Everybody's won games. We're at varsity level now. These guys have played football for a long time, so don't be worried about that stuff. Just go fight. Have fun playing the game. Have fun executing. Just go and fight. And when you fight and when you go out and you play with that kind of energy and intensity, man, those good things are gonna happen. Win or lose, you can deal with that if that's the case. And that's what we want. Whatever the scoreboard says at the end of the game, we want to know that we laid it down and fought for it. And made those guys understand, hey, you play them, they better understand it's going to be a fight. So that's just kind of been the focus this week. We're back at home, and we've been playing good at home, and so we need to come out like that this week.
Yeah, it was, like I say, it was a beautiful day down there. You would think that, running out on that field and that environment, that you'd think you'd be pretty pumped up to play.
You'd think you'd be pretty pumped up just to play the game. So,
yes.
That's what we gotta, that's what we gotta focus on.
Yeah, and then, Academy certainly came to play.
They've got a great team. I mean, I think they're, ranked number 4 in the state right now. That's probably one of the biggest, most physical Albuquerque teams, academy teams that I've ever gone up against. Had great size up front. Like I said, man, got a quarterback that can stand back there and just throw the ball and see over everybody, and does a great job. And they're running some RPO stuff, trying to get you to bite up on the run, and then we're setting back enough in the secondary that he's just taking those inside little slant routes and putting the ball. He does a great job of putting the ball where it needs to be, and they were big enough and physical enough that they were going to give him enough time to do it.
Well, the left side of their line, their defensive line was, they were very, very aggressive and big kids.
Oh yeah.
But and we kept trying to run Teak over the right side, but it just wasn't there. They they did such a great job of covering that, and of course, I'm sure they all had their eye on Teak. So, Teak would go into the right side of the line, and he just wasn't able to to do what we usually see Teat do. So but anyway, you need to put that one in there. I mean, put that one in the file cabinet.
Well, it's over, and we got another chance at home to play football again. That's the good thing about it.
Well, you take on Bernalillo tonight, or this afternoon actually. You take on Bernalillo, and Bernalillo is they're 2-3, and it's interesting because they've had essentially pretty much the same schedule that we've had in a way. They played they played Espanola, and they played Espanola and Taos, and so they beat Espanola, lost to Taos. But then it's interesting because on their schedule they also play Del Norte and Valley, who are district opponents. So there's a lot of common ground.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover with these guys. I mean, they're an extreme. We played Bernalillo for a long time. Me and their head coach pretty familiar with each other. We've gone head to head a lot of times in the past. It's been pretty even back and forth. But they're an aggressive team. They're going to very similar defensive wise to kind of what we saw last week, kind of that 3-4 odd front defense. They're going to, I think, try to put a little more pressure. They were successful last year, just bringing back linebackers from a lot of different places on us. Last year, we just had too many turnovers against them, which killed us. But so we're going to kind of adjust our game plan a little bit with these guys to deal with some of the pressure. But they're an aggressive defense. They're kind of match up size wise a little bit better with these guys. Very similar kind of offense. They'll spread it out, but they will go some pistol run game, run some ISO, run some play action out of their pistol 2-back set. But they're an aggressive team. Their coach likes to bring pressure. He likes to pressure with his offense. Try to keep things moving, take advantage of what you're doing. So, they're an aggressive team. If we can just do what we need to do, I think we're, I say that every week. If we can, take advantage of what those guys are giving us. Especially, I think they give up some stuff defensive wise because of the amount of pressure that they bring, and if you don't adjust to that, you're going to be in trouble. The teams that have beat them have dealt effectively with that though, and hurt them because of it. So I think that's kind of our plan this week. Deal with those blitzers. Try to keep them in position where they can't bring that stuff because of our spread alignments, and keep them outside where we can run the ball on them and then take advantage on the outside when they do blitz.
Well, you've been rotating. I noticed Kyle Evan-Hoos and Zach Stidham. You've been rotating them quite a bit. Sorry about the voice, but anyway. You've been rotating them in as quarterback, and so, what is the strategy there?
Well, the strategy, Zach Stidham is one of those guys. He's an extremely smart kid. He's the kid that he's gonna study everything. He's gonna know, how to run the offense, what he wants to do. But at the same time, I think we're kind of getting through this season, and we're seeing, I think everybody else seeing, Kyle, even though he's one of those kids that that kid's just a good athlete. and he's getting to the point, early on, it was a matter of, making sure he knows the offense. He's a sophomore. He's a year behind Kyle, or he's a year behind Zach. And so, our goal is, get that kid up to speed where he knows the offense, really well. He knows how to read stuff. He knows what to get us in. He knows where to put the ball, and not just pre-read things. And I think we're seeing as we go through the season, that he's starting to do that. And so, and he's that kind of athlete. You hate to have that kid off the field. So we're getting to the point. He's great at running that option stuff. He has a great arm, so he's great at throwing, the quick stuff, the quick game. He can throw a deep ball and get it out there when he needs to. And so, my deal right now is that, see which one of those kids gets on a roll. I know they're both going to do a great job for us, but we're getting to the point, it's hard to keep Kyle off the field, and so at quarterback, whether it's quarterback or we've been rolling him at some slot receiver as well too. He's been playing a lot on defense at safety for us, so we just, I want to, last week was just who's going to get on a roll and move the ball. We weren't doing real well sustaining drives, and so I was like, hey man, we're gonna put him in for 2 series. You got 2 series, and let's see who gets on a roll and gets going, because both those kids are gonna do a good job for us. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Is I just hard to keep athletes off the field.
Yes. Well, Kyle's done a great job when he has come in. So he's been rotating with Zach, and the two of them, both of them are very good quarterbacks, and when they get on a roll, they really get on a roll, and both of them. And so you don't lose anything when Kyle comes in.
No, we don't lose anything. I think, like I said, last week or the week before, we played them quite a bit, both of them quite, and I think Zach was like 11 for 19, had like 130 yards passing. Kyle comes in, plays almost the whole second half, and is 8 for 10. I think had like 90 yards passing. Both of them just, we're not dropping off, by any means. So, right now it's like, who's going to get the hot hand and who's going to roll? And I want to make sure that both those kids get an opportunity to do it.
Well, next week you have an open week, and then you roll into district. So, and it's interesting in the district situation because it's Valley and Manzano and Del Norte, and Del Norte's always been kind of our nemesis in a way. They played in the last game of the season, and then go down to Milne, which I don't like to go down to Milne on a Friday night. It's not. It's not nighttime games at Milne. They're not very inspiring, I guess you'd say.
Well, but at least it's a Friday night game. We've the last several years, the only time we played at Milne has been on Saturday afternoon when it's baking hot.
Yes.
So I'm all right. Like, you go down there and play on a Friday night, let's go.
Yeah, they've been getting bombed. They got really bombed by Bernalillo, 60-22, and so they're kind of struggling, and they lost to Valley about 36-0, I think it was. But so it's I don't know. It seems like we got a pretty good matchup coming up again.
Well, our goal is to go into our district season with some momentum. And if we have a great game and go in with a win, go in with some momentum, we go down, we're going to play Monsanto, who's been struggling. and then come back. Valley, who's probably been the most solid team in our district so far, we got them back at home on Friday night. So that's a good opportunity for us to really have a good run through district, and we need to get through that district with a good run, but we got to take care of today so we can have that momentum going into it.
Yeah, the way the district is stacked up right now is it looks like you guys should have I think you would do very well against Manzano and Del Norte. So you just have to put everything together for Valley.
Yeah.
And Valley, of course, it's here, or it's home, which helps a lot.
It absolutely
so, does. And then next week you have an open week, and so is that open week going to be? I mean, how's the health situation for the team? And
pretty healthy right now. Got Seth Yost back. We got Seth Yost back. We got Zach Schwarzkopf back, who's been, dealing with a shoulder injury. So we got those two guys back. We lost a few dudes, Luke and Josh Duran to a shoulder injury. So, we've been dealing with that for a while. So, that's nothing new to us, but we'll have all those guys back. And so we should be pretty healthy, and we want to get through this game healthy, have that good, bye week where we got a little time to heal up, but start really focusing. That's a great week, great kind of 2 weeks of practice right there to kind of prep for what we need to do. So this is going to be good, like I said, as long as we can finish this game the way we need to and roll into that bye week with some momentum. It looks good. That's right where we want to be. We got some games got several games that are definitely winnable, and got the one that we know we're going to have to go fight. You got to fight for all of them, but we got that big one that we know is going to be big at home. So.
Yeah, really. Seth Yost is interesting because he was still on the injured list at homecoming, but he was one in the homecoming court. So I got a kind of a kick out of it when he came down. He was wearing his football jersey and a cowboy hat, and as he escorted whoever it was, the young lady he escorted. But anyway, it's so tonight it's it's just time for you guys to regroup and forget last week and like you say, come out, play with lots of intensity and play with the kind of execution that you guys have shown. You've shown some fantastic execution in some of these games. Everything clicking, the run game, the passing game, everything, and defense is awesome. So that's what.
It's definitely time, and I just, these guys they need to come out and play like that. They deserve a big one right now. They need a big one right now. This is a great time to get it. Great time to roll in, like I said, rolling into district. So, we just, like I said, we got to come out and match that intensity. We got to come play with that intensity. When we play with that kind of fire and intensity, we play great. When we set back on our heels, good things don't happen for us. And so, this is a home ball game. We played pretty good at home for the most part, and so today's a good day to do it.
Yes. Well, all I can say, Jared, is to go get them and bring home that victory. And,
absolutely.
And then, like you say, that'll be great momentum, because if you come a nice victory, and then you guys get some rest, and then you go into district, so you have a good situation here. And it's just, if you just take advantage of that tonight, that would be great. And so that's what we need to do. We need to come out and play like we know we can play.
Absolutely.
And then come away with that win. And then you guys can just bask in your glory for a couple of weeks and then go into district. So
just be ready.
Well, thank you, Garrett. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming and giving us a little chat. This has been Gene Martinson talking with Garrett Williams, head coach of the Hilltoppers, and tonight, or this afternoon, I keep saying tonight, this afternoon is the Bernalillo High School Spartans coming to Los Alamos, and that's a long rivalry that goes way back, and I can tell you when Bernalillo comes here, they have a lot of incentive to play, so we'll see how that goes. So. It is a glorious afternoon here in northern New Mexico, and here at Sullivan Field, the Los Alamos High School Hilltoppers will take on the Bernalillo High School Spartans in a presentation of the Los Alamos Daily Post, and we appreciate the support of the Daily Post and of Carol Clark. And this afternoon, this game is it's interesting, Mike, because they have a lot of rivalries. They have Santa Fe and Espanola and everything, but they have developed a football rivalry over the past several years. And Bernalillo comes to Los Alamos, and I think if they beat Los Alamos, that's their whole season. They've made their whole season if they can beat Los Alamos, because there's no love lost between Bernalillo football and Los Alamos football. So anyway, Mike, we'll see what's going to happen here this afternoon. I'll let you go over the schedule, but they have played two of the teams that we have played, and they also have played two of the teams we're going to play in district. So how do you think things stack up here this afternoon?
Well, very interesting that we're going to get kind of a indirect preview of some of the district teams we're going to see here. So the Spartans come in with a record of 2 wins, 3 losses. And they have you look at the scores of their games, Gene, they've been all over the place. They dropped their first game to Valley. Valley is a solid team this year, and defeated Espanola Valley, and they just absolutely hammered Del Norte, which was a little bit of a surprise. That was toward the beginning of the season. They have dropped their last 2, however, to Moriarty and another team. Los Alamos has already played Taos. They lost that one 21-6, and so by a couple of touchdowns, we lost by 1 touchdown to Taos in the final seconds of the game, which that was kind of an upsetting loss for Los Alamos. But anyway, the Spartans, they're coached by John Cobos. The Toppers used to dominate this series against Bernalillo. We didn't used to play them all the time, but we used to play them a fair amount. And then they got into our district, and then the controversy began. And
did it ever?
Yeah, there was some bad blood. It was kind of this interesting. This is kind of a one-sided rivalry. I don't think I've never heard Los Alamos say, "Oh, we don't really like Bernalillo" or anything like that. They don't come up in the conversation much. Now go have the conversation with the Spartans, and they will have a little bit of a different opinion on that. That of course, 2009, I believe, the Toppers met the Spartans, and that game turned into a bloodbath. The Spartans very, very upset. The Toppers, they felt like the Toppers were running up the score, and quite frankly, Gene, they did. So the final score of that ball game, 95-0. Now, you go to every football coach in the world and they'll tell you, "Oh no, we hate running up the score." No, football coaches love running up the score. They just don't like having it done to them. That is the plain fact. So anyway, the Toppers, since that game, you remember the next year the Spartans came up here again to Sullivan Field, and each one of them was wearing an eye black, and in each one of their eye black it said 95 reasons. So there was a little bit of a sore spot there. Los Alamos, that was actually a great football game. That next year, Los Alamos won that game, I think, by 2 or 3. It was a fantastic game, and Bernalillo had a chance to pull it out at the end.
Yeah, they ran out of time.
Yeah, I think they stalled on the 35-yard line, something like that. Had they had another 30, 40 seconds, they might have pulled that out.
Yes, they were. They were on the march, and they had come from behind, and they were determined. And if they'd had, like Mike said, another minute, they would have won that ball game. But we're about ready to go here, and so the and the Hilltoppers will kick off, and they will defend the west goal. So of course, this field runs east and west, and Bernalillo will defend the east goal, and they will receive to start the ball game. And I missed the coin toss, so I'm not sure who won the coin toss, but it doesn't matter at this point because the Hilltoppers are going to kick off right now, and then they will receive to start the second half. So they're lining things up, and so Hayden Jorgensen will kick off for Los Alamos. And he boots it away. There's a Hayden Jorgensen.
Oh, boy.
Classic
short kick, but that
classic kick, and the ball's loose. Everybody fighting for it, and it's a free ball. Whoever falls on it, that's their ball. And Hayden Jorgensen has these short kicks are very high end over end short kicks. This one came down about the 35-yard line or so, and Bernalillo wasn't really expecting that. They tried to right by the sideline. They ran over there, and the young man who was going to grab the ball, he grabbed it and he dropped it, and then there was a nice little rugby pile up there, and so but the Bernalillo does come away with it. So the Bernalillo now will run out of the pistol, and the quarterback is Uriel Castro. So Uriel rolling to his left, he's going to dish it off, but right up to the line of scrimmage. He was under a lot of pressure, so all he could do was get rid of it, and he just essentially tossed it up to the line of scrimmage and up to Javon McChristian, and he was tackled immediately.
There was a flag on a play back at the 25-yard line, and that looks like, we're going to call a chop block on the Spartans. So that's going to push them back, and they're saying that was in the backfield.
Yes. So, yeah, because they never got out the backfield at all. So that's going to move them back to, my golly, about the 13-yard line. They've got to get, and they have to get up to the 40. So right now it's going to be first and 27 for Bernalillo. So Castro dropping back again, looking downfield. He's got a man open, and he's hit immediately. Wow, what a hit there for Los Alamos. And that coming over in a hurry was Seth Cowan. Wow, boy, they completed the pass, and as soon as he caught the ball, boy, Seth just put his shoulder into his gut, and down he went, and the ball also down he went. So the Hilltoppers now, right now, in good position here, as it's only second down because that first down was they get the first down over, of course, on the penalty, and Castro back in the pistol. Los Alamos showing blitz again, and here they come. And they did come, and they do complete the pass. And the pass is complete up to Mason Espinda. And Espinda is going to move it up to about somewhere around the 20-yard line. So it'll be third down actually now and it noses the ball right at the 20, and they've got to get to the 40. So this is going to bring up 3rd and 20 for the Spartans.
So let's see. They're going to have to dig pretty deep in the playbook for this one.
Yeah,
but the Spartans actually for the Spartans, Castro's he's attempted 3 passes. He throws kind of sidearm.
Yes, he does. And he's not a very big kid, 140 pounds. They're going for it all, and they got a man open. Whoa! Downfield was Mason Espinda, and he overthrows him. And Hayden Jorgensen was there on the cover for Los Alamos, but Espinda had a step. And that's one of those ones, if the ball had come right down to Espinda, he had the step, and Hayden Jorgensen was right at his back. But that would have been a complete pass. So now they're going to bring up 4th down and 20. So going into punt formation right away. And let's see, it's going to be Uriel Castro. He's not very tall, not a very big kid, 140 pounds, and not very tall either. This is going to be a short kick that's going to be taken by Los Alamos by Malachi Gutierrez. Gutierrez pulls it in right at midfield down the right sideline. And he's got a lot of running room. He's across the 30, and he's already down to the 20-yard line of the Spartans.
Wow, so he got it back to the line of scrimmage for Los Alamos. Actually, he looked a little indecisive when the punt was coming to whether he wanted to catch it or not. He did end up catching it, and then he made a move to the right side and found some room down the right sideline and got it all the way back to where the ball was punted.
They're going to give it to Teak Nieto, and he's going to be gang tackled as he crosses the 20-yard line. Interestingly enough, Mike, you said that he ran it back to the line of scrimmage when they punted. The nose of the ball was at the 20-yard line and on the Bernalillo side of the 20. And then after the run by Malachi, it was the nose of the ball was at the 20. So he did go right back to the 20, and they give it to Teak again right up the middle. Teak Nieto is going to pick up some yardage here, and see him.
Well, he got 2 in the first carry. He looks like he's going to get about 6.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 2. Of course, this is 4-down territory or field goal territory, but we never kick a field goal. So they're going to give it to Teak again. So that's right now. There's no secret as Teak.
So we have under center, or actually in the shotgun right now, not Zach Stidham, who's announced as starting quarterback. It's Kyle Evenhuis.
Well, Zach, and that's one of the things that Garrett has been doing. That's one of the things we talked about in the pregame was that he's been rotating Zach and Kyle quite a bit. Kyle's only a sophomore, but he's done a really, really good job. And of course, Stidham, Zach is a junior, so he has both of those guys back next week now under center, and that's going to be Kyle Evenhuis and a quarterback sneak, and he takes it in for the score. Well, it was just unfortunate, Mike, because we didn't get a chance to really see what Bernalillo could do because they had that 15-yard penalty right off the bat, and so they ended up on first and 27. So trying to overcome that. So Hayden Jorgensen is going to go for the extra point for Los Alamos. And this one is up, and it's good. So with 8:58 remaining here in the first quarter, the Hilltoppers strike first as Bernalillo is driven back to deep in their own territory by a major penalty, a short punt. He came down to midfield, right at midfield, a 30-yard run back by Malachi Gutierrez. And then he just went to Teak Nieto after that until Kyle Evenhuis came in at quarterback and took it across. So Hayden Jorgensen will kick off once again for Los Alamos, leading 7-0. And we've had just a little over 6 minutes gone. 3 minutes gone. Another high end over end kick. This is going to go out of bounds. And that is a flag.
I don't remember the last complete game for Los Alamos that they didn't kick at least one kickoff out of bounds.
Oh yeah, most of them all head for the sideline. And
so I've always wondered about that. We'll just kick it straight down the middle, so that's not a problem. But at any event, the Spartans will get the ball at the 35-yard line on the right hash to see what they can do this time. They have been very, very quick with those short passes in that first drive.
Yeah, one of the options they have is to take it on the 35. That's what they do. And so Castro, he's going to air it out again. Ball's in the air. It was tipped. It's a short pass. If there was tipped, and we don't have a mystery player, but anyway, it went right to Mason Espinda. I think he might have been throwing it to Espinda, but number 84, which we don't have. What a surprise! But anyway, number 84 tried to catch it. Was going over his head, and he tipped it right over to Espinda, not on purpose. So they pick up the first down. They finally go to the ground and trying to make the turn or the corner, and
ball on the ground.
Yeah.
That one carried by David Yanez, and a big pile up. They made a signal yet?
Not at all.
So
second down for Bernalillo.
It'll be recovered by the Spartans, and Yanez actually had a pretty good hole-off tackle and bounced it out, and then it looked like he just lost the handle on that. I didn't see anybody hit him.
Yeah,
and it popped straight up in the air, and a couple of toppers dove for it. Apparently, the Spartans got on it. We never did see a definitive signal, but
no, they just stood up and said second down is all they did. So anyway, now they ready to go and dropping back. No, he's under a lot of pressure, so he's going to have to try to run it out, but he cannot. Ariel Castro, as the rush came for the Hilltoppers, and Jackson Blair leading the way for Los Alamos. And the pass rush for the Hilltoppers this year has been pretty good, and has also been sporadic. Some teams they just harass the quarterback like crazy, and other teams, like for instance last week at Academy, the Academy quarterback, he had great blocking, so he had a lot of time back there. They're going to go the spread this time, and in motion, they're going to put Mason Espinda, and so let's see.
Well, we're gonna have a false start on the Spartans, and I could guess who it was on because the quarterback Uriel Castro just came in, gave his center a love tap. So
yeah, he popped the center on the head. That's Kyle Monty. He walked up and popped him on the helmet.
So evidently moved the ball a little bit. That is actually the first time in the history of football the center's made a mistake, Gene.
Yes, exactly, especially the center. There's a nice pass completed over on the left sideline, going down the left sideline, and a nice carry this time for Sean Armillo. And Sean Armillo and Mason Espinda are his favorite receivers, and especially Espinda. But Sean Armillo is he throws to him about half the time that he throws to Espinda. But a nice run by Armillo as they get it up now to the 39-yard line of Los Alamos.
18-yard pickup on third down, and that was a nice throw.
Yes, it really was. And so they'll go back to the pistol now. They started to go into the spread, and they had the false start. And so they're going to hand the ball off and right up the middle and going absolutely nowhere. And that's going to be Josh Barajas. So he does pick up about a yard, but he just ran into nothing but green. So that's going to make it second down and 9. The ball right now is at the 38-yard line of the Hilltoppers. 7-0 ball game. Hilltoppers scoring in the early minutes, in the first 3 minutes. And a quarterback draw, and here goes Castro, and Castro's going to pick up some pretty good yardage across the 35-yard line. It's not going to be enough for the first down, but I thought he was going to get more yardage out of that. But the Hilltoppers did recover in a hurry and get back to cover it, but he does move it down to the 33-yard line. So he picks up 5 yards, and they had picked up a yard before, so they're looking at 3rd and 4 right now, and the ball sitting at the 33-yard line of the Hilltoppers. So they put 2 receivers out left, 2 receivers out right, and they stand in the pistol. And so Castro, long count. He's rolling to his right. He's trying to air it out now. He's got a man open. Whoa. Oh, right off his hands. Mason has been his favorite receiver, was open downfield right at the goal line. Pass was right to him and a little high, but that was a catchable ball. That should have been caught.
It should have been caught, and Castro took a good whack at the end of that. In fact, they're going to have somebody come take a look at him. He was a little slow getting up right at the 40-yard line. Toppers coming on a blitz. And I think that was, let's see, who was that coming? Well, yeah, no, the Toppers were coming on a blitz. And Brousseau got the hit on Castro. And Brousseau, just a sophomore, he's having a heck of a year so far.
Yeah, he is.
He has really made an impact for the Toppers on defense, playing on the end, and he has done a real good job. So 4th down, and it looks like the Spartans are gonna go for it here at about the 29-yard line, and we have a timeout. Timeout.
I guess they're going to sub out Castro.
I think, Castro was under center, and I think the officials asked him to leave after that hit.
Yes. Yeah, because they were all set, so he has to go out, and now Javon McChristian is now at the quarterback spot for Bernalillo. And so
there's movement up front, and both teams moved. We'll see if
Javon pointing at Los Alamos.
They're going to call it on. They're going to call it on the Toppers, but there was a lot of movement up there. I was wondering if the Toppers hadn't gotten into the neutral zone and made the Spartans move, but the officials say it was the Spartans that.
No, they gave it. It was the Spartans that moved. So 5-yard penalty against Bernalillo. So that's going to make it now 4th and 9.
And they're gonna switch tacks here, and they are in fact going to punt. And that's Castro.
And this one is taken inside the 5-yard line by
boy,
Toppers. They're going to be tackled right smack at the goal line. And
he's in the heater. That's a safety.
They did get him in the end zone.
They got him right at the goal line. That is a safety. Holy moly.
Who was the ball carrier?
That was Malachi Gutierrez. He caught the ball right about the 2-yard line, which on a punt you don't generally want to do. And then it took a couple of steps back, and they caught him right at the goal line. They're going to say he was in the end zone. So the Spartans with the safety, 4:36 remaining here in the first quarter. So the safety on a punt. So what happens with the safety? The defense is awarded 2 points, and the Toppers will have to kick to the Spartans. This is a free kick, by the way, from I believe the 20-yard line.
20.
So
they have a free kick from the 20.
Yes, this will be a free kick. So we'll see Jorgensen ready to go. He's going to tee it up.
Yeah, he has a choice. He can tee it or he can just punt it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Actually, I think in the NFL, I think you have to punt it, don't you?
I think so. Yeah. But in high school, you have your choice.
So he will kick it from the tee from the 20-yard line. Again, this is a free kick. And pop up.
Going to give Bernalillo great field position as the ball comes down to Diego Molinar. And Molinar, well, he caught it, started to go upfield and cross the midfield, and then he decided to cut back. And he actually gets caught at midfield. And here we go again with the nose of the ball right at midfield. But 7-2 ball game, and Bernalillo has the ball back.
Yep. 4.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I have trouble seeing that corner over there, so I couldn't see who the ball carrier was, but I know he got dumped at the goal line. But so
Toppers coming on the blitz again. Quick pass up the middle, and that is caught by number 7, Dominic Doss. And he's got a Bernalillo first down, but the Toppers going blitz heavy here in this first quarter. Coming through, I believe that was Kyler Young on the blitz, right up the A gap, but Castro throwing a sidearm bullet right to his receiver. That was a nice throw.
Yeah, Castro back in the ball game now for Bernalillo. So he went out for that last series, and I think they made him go out. So, and this time he's going to hand it off, and he's going to give the ball now to David Lianis. Lianis over the left tackle, and he's going to move it up to about the 35-yard line. That's going to be about a 4-yard pickup for the Spartans. Well, they're actually going to put it down at the 36-yard line, so it's going to be a 3-yard pickup for the Spartans. So the Spartans, they are moving the football, and those little short passes, but they've had a couple of long passes. That one long pass to the end zone should have been caught, but it was not. But it's still a 7-2 ball game at Bernalillo, in great field position at this point on 2nd now and 7. And it's interesting. Whoa. It's interesting as Castro rolling to his right. He has to get rid of it. So he just makes a desperate throw to Mason Espinda. He didn't even come close. And
I think it was more of a throwaway. We've got a flag on the field, however, right at the 35-yard line, near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, see what they're discussing it now. And so it's going to, I think it's going to go against Los Alamos. They're talking to the Bernalillo sideline. And so we're going to get the signal right now. It's going to be holding.
Personal foul.
What is that? Personal foul, yes. What is that? Putting two fists together.
I don't know.
Nobody knows. The other, 2 weeks ago, when we played Milwaukee, the official kept calling that over and over and over. Nobody in the press booth knew what that signal was. Two fists together.
Is that helmet to helmet contact? That's it.
Maybe that's what we were guessing anyway. But a big penalty against Los Alamos gives them a first down, and they are at the 20-yard line. First and goal, or 1st and 10 from the 20. Los Alamos jumps off the sides again.
Oh boy. Toppers heading the wrong direction on the defensive end, and a big penalty, personal foul, and then they're going to tack on another 5, jumping into the neutral zone. So the Spartans on the 16-yard line, 3 minutes remaining, and they have a chance to take the lead here.
Yeah, they really do. So Castro rolling back, and he's in trouble. He runs out of it. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and more. He's going to pick up a first down. I thought they were going to get him, but he took off, made a nice little cut, headed over toward the left sideline, then cut up right down the left hash marks, and he's going to get it inside the 10-yard line.
And we got a late penalty flag after the tackle.
So,
and that's going. It looks like that's going against the Spartans.
We're going to have
block in the back.
Block in the back. Unbelievable.
Wow. So 3 straight penalties here. And that's going to wipe out a nice run there by Castro. Castro was getting all kinds of pressure, mostly up the middle. And he's, for the most part, been able to avoid it and made a nice move, had a nice run down the left sideline, but that's all for naught.
Yes. Well, they after everything's said and done, and the penalty, they do pick up about 3 yards because the penalty occurred up about the 19-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off, and this one's going to go to David Lianis. And Lianis is going to go over the left side, and he's going to pick up probably about 5 yards. It's going to be second down, he picked up about 3 yards actually. going to be second down and about 5 for Bernalillo.
And he was hip tossed and down to the ground by Chiquinieto.
Yes, and so the ball right now on the 15-yard line, second down and about 5 for Bernalillo. And so they are moving, and they can take the lead here if they have that safety. And so now they go into a spread, and they're rolling to his right, rolling, still going. And now he's going to air it out, and there's nobody there. He threw the ball. There was no receiver. So there could be a flag for intentional grounding.
Well, he was out of the box, but there was no receiver, and there's a late flag for intentional grounding.
Yeah, it was definite. I mean, it definitely was intentional grounding. So they looked yep.
So the quarterback is allowed to throw the ball away if he gets outside of what's called the tackle box, which I think he was, but there's got to be at least some sort of attempt either to throw past the line of scrimmage or throw to a receiver, and he didn't either. So that is the reason for the penalty.
There wasn't a receiver even close. There was no, I mean, you couldn't see. They're in Bernalillo in white jerseys with red pants, and the Hilltoppers in green jerseys with white pants. But I mean, when he threw that pass, you didn't see a single white jersey anywhere. I mean, that was an easy call for the official. In fact, it's right in front of the referee as we come down now to a minute 25 to go here in this first quarter, 7-2 ball game. Bernalillo scoring on a safety, and Bernalillo trying to get something going again on third down. And we're passing the end zone. We may have there's the flag.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to say we may have a flag, and boy, I mean, the referee didn't waste any time throwing that because it was obvious pass interference by Los Alamos.
Oh boy. And coming across the middle for the Spartans, Jacob Pino, he had a step right at the 5-yard line, and there was some major contact there, right just as the ball was getting there.
We have an interesting situation here, Mike. It's a 15-yard penalty. And in high school football, they changed the rule a couple of years ago. You don't get an automatic first down. You have to make a first down with the penalty. And they didn't make a first down with the penalty. So it's still third down, even with the 15-yard line, because they actually had 18 yards to go. And so the handoff now goes to David Lianis. Lianis over the right side. And they do pick up the first down this time. So it's going to be first and goal for Bernalillo. But, yeah, that's an interesting change in the rule. It used to be a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. But now it's just a 15-yard penalty, period. And then you just look and see where the ball is. And if you don't make the first down, then you don't get the first down. But right now it's going to be first and goal from the 1 for the Spartans. Jackson, it's a movement in the back, but I don't know if we're going to call it or not. And trying to go over to the right side. And David Lianis, and he's not going to go anywhere. In fact, he's going to lose yardage back to the 3.
Yeah. So he, it's going to lose about a yard on the play with about 19 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Yanez, he got an extra step head start before anybody else did.
Yeah, yes.
And he got away with it.
Yeah, he left early. But so now it's going to be second down and goal from the 3, and we're going to have a timeout.
No, that's the end of the quarter.
Oh, that's the end of the quarter.
So 7-2 in favor of the Hilltoppers at the end of the first quarter. So we're going to walk all the way down to the other side of the field. Yes. I like it when they're at the 50, Gene. All they have to really do is just flip the ball over.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's all you got to do. So, but Bernalillo right now is, they have a golden opportunity here to take the lead, because the Hilltoppers only had the ball once, and they scored. And so now it's going to be second down and goal from the 3, and we're going to have a timeout. 7-2 in favor of the Hilltoppers at the end of the first quarter. So we're going to walk all the way down to the other side of the field. and that it was 8:58 to go. They scored, and it's in Bernalillo ball ever since. The Hilltoppers got the punt, tackled in the end zone, and so they had a free kick, and so now Bernalillo, well, they had the ball, Mike. They had the ball 9 minutes of the quarter.
Yeah, that is quite a bit, but yeah, the safety in the middle of all that. So, and as we go to the other end of the field, so 7-2 ball game, and
yeah, the next week. But by the way, Mike, the Hilltoppers have an open week, so the Hilltoppers are off, and they'll have three games left in the season. Those are all district games, and they'll open up in 2 weeks against Monzano at Monzano, and then Valley comes here, and then we get to go down to Milne Stadium for Del Norte. I hate going there on Friday nights.
Yeah, watch that last step. It's about 8 feet high.
Yeah. So there's the pass, and this one is.
Well, it is.
Oh, he didn't. It didn't hang on.
Yeah, that might have been tipped right at the goal line by one of the toppers, but that pass, good-looking pass, again, hit the receiver pretty well in stride, and he just could not hang on.
No, he could not, and so that was a Spinda. They've got the ball on the 5-yard line. The ball actually was on the 3, so I'm not sure what's going on here. But anyway, now it's 3rd down and goal from the 5. So the pass goes up in the air.
Whoa.
Tipped up in the air. Everybody diving for it, but nobody can get a hold of it. But that was one of those ones where he just fired a bullet pass over to a Spinda, went off of a Spinda, popped way up in the air, and then the next thing, nothing but white jerseys and green jerseys all diving for the ball. But nobody could get to it.
Yeah, so. And unfortunately for the Toppers, defensive tackle Donovan Allen right by the ball. I don't think he knew it was coming to him. It dropped about 2 feet away from him. I don't think he even knew it was there.
Yeah, he probably didn't see it go up. So, well, let's see. So
was there a penalty? I think there was a penalty. Because we got 1st and goal now for the Spartans at like the 2.
Yes, and I missed whatever it was.
So quarterback sneak there by Castro, and that went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, they had 1st and goal, and they were on the 5-yard line, and so I'm not sure what they would call to give it, then suddenly give Bernalillo an automatic 1st down. But
that would have had to have been like pass interference or defensive holding or something like that.
Something on that order.
Yeah, that was about half the distance to the goal line. So yeah, something happened.
So here they go again. Bernalillo on 2nd down, still trying to go. Going to go right over. Well, they're going to go right over right guard, and they're not going to get anywhere as they're going to run in as Kyler Young comes in to make the stop for Los Alamos. But anyway, well, it's been interesting so far. Bernalillo trying to pound it in. They've had multi opportunities to do that, but the ball is at the 3rd and goal from the 4, and they just haven't been able to come up with a play that's going to work. So rolling way back, and then they're going to fire it up into the corner of the end zone. And I don't understand that play at all. That play, but I mean that's got to be a really low risk. I mean a high risk play if you're expecting it to complete that pass.
That didn't make any sense at all. The Spartans had 2 receivers within about 2 yards of each other on the right side, and then Castro just kind of threw a jump ball. Actually, I think one of his receivers pulled it down, but he was about 2 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, they
Yeah, that didn't make any sense at all.
yeah, they had coverage, like they had all kinds of Los Alamos coverage as a pass, and this is going to be caught, I do believe. And I do believe it's a touchdown. I'm trying to look at the official. The went to Mason Espinda. I didn't see any indication from the officials, but anyway, Maury Pongratz hollers out touchdown. So they bring the ball out and put it down on the 3-yard line, so they do score. And so right now,
so the catch made there by is by Espinda for the touchdown. So Spartans going to go for 2 here. 10:03 remaining in the half.
So Mason and another pass over on right at the goal line, and right there to pull it in for the Sartans. And this time is a young man, Jacob Pino. The Jacob Pino pulls it in, and he was standing right smack on the goal line, right smack, and then he just fell straight down. But he had the ball in the end zone, and that's all that counted. So the Spartans decided to go for 2. Josh Cabos goes for 2, and so now the Spartans up on Los Alamos 10-7, and it's been all Bernalillo so far in this ball game. Let's see, we've got 10 minutes remaining here in the quarter, so they had it for 9 minutes, and then give them another 2. So for the last 11 minutes, it's been Bernalillo offense.
Wow.
So Bernalillo now will kick off leading now 10-7 over the Hilltoppers. The Hilltoppers only had the ball 3 minutes so far in this contest, and that's been it. So they booted away, and this was going to be a short kick, and that's going to be taken by Malachi Gutierrez, and he's going to be hit almost immediately as he took it just inside the 30-yard line, tried to go to the left, and he's tackled at the 30. So maybe a yard run back because he was trying to go laterally, and it just wasn't there. So let's see what the Hilltoppers can do, Mike, after playing 11 minutes of defense. And so right now it's a 10-7 ball game. Bernalillo leading Los Alamos.
I mean, is that Stidham out there now?
I do. Well, it's hard to tell.
No, I'm sorry, it is not. That is Evan Huss.
Yeah, it's hard to tell his number.
Stidham actually, I just saw him. He's in street clothes.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he's in street clothes on the sideline.
Okay, so Evan Huss on the option is going to pitch it back to Teak Nieto. Nieto breaks the tackle, breaks another. He's still going. He's got it almost all the way up to the 45-yard line as he just bowled his way down that right sideline.
Wow, that was all Teak. The pitch wasn't that great. That was on his back shoulder. He had to kind of one-hand it with his left hand, and it was hit right at the line of scrimmage. Kept on his feet, and he was hit 2 or 3 more times. They finally dragged him down, but he picks up 13 yards and the first down.
Yeah, out to the 43, and so he's going to give it to Teak again. This time it's going to go right smack up the middle, right over the center. And he's going to pick up about, 5 yards. It's going to make it 2nd down and 5. The ball right now is still in Hilltopper territory at their own 48. And it's a 10-7 ball game right now. Bernalillo leading in this ball game. 9:10 to go in the first half. Pass over on the sidelines, complete to Malachi Gutierrez. And that's a play that the Los Alamos has not been very successful at, but it's successful this time as Malachi picks up some nice yardage and picks up the first down as he moves it up to the 43-yard line of the Spartans. That sideline pass hasn't been working very well for Los Alamos. So they're just going to give it to Teak again over the left guard. And he's going to take over between guard and tackle on the left side. And he's going to pick up about 5 yards. So the Hilltoppers on the move, on the ground. And Kyle Evans, he's got a good arm. So they're not out of the pass play at all. And there's a flag, and I think Kyle's clapping, so he must have hard counted him. And it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against against Bernalillo. It used to be offsides, and now it's encroachment.
What's wrong with offside? I've never understood what the problem with offside.
Why do they think encroachment sounds better than offsides? Only political correct people. Kyle Evan, who really takes a hit.
Holy moly.
Wow.
Did you see the contact down there for the toppers? Mason Espinda, and was that I think that was Kenny Swazzo right there. They were bear hugging each other.
Yeah.
And nothing called on either side.
Yeah, it was funny. And Kyle and Evan, who was clobbered, I'm surprised he got the pass away, but he got it all the way down to the end zone. But like Mike said, they were practically dancing back there. Pass over onto the right sideline, and this one going down that right sideline, breaking a tackle, heading for the end zone, and that's going to be Malachi Gutierrez. So a play that has not been working very well for Los Alamos, that sideline pass, and it's a swing pass over on the side. And they just had a lot of trouble of getting it to work this year, but it certainly is working today. And Malachi Gutierrez has taken advantage, and he scores the touchdown. So we will have Hayden Jorgensen will go for the point after for Los Alamos as the Hilltoppers take back the lead, and Hayden's going to put it through the uprights, and so now that's going to make the score 14-10 in favor of Los Alamos. 8:02, so they had the ball for 2 minutes.
Wow. So Toppers really piling up the time of possession here in this ball game. They're well over 5 minutes now. So wow, but nice
5
throw.
minutes to 4 seconds, something like that.
So the Toppers, a 33-yard touchdown from Evan Huss to Malachi Gutierrez. Look, the Spartans actually came on a blitz on that play, coming from Evan Huss's right side, and he was able to take advantage, find Malachi on the right side. Malachi broke a tackle, did a little spin move, and then just jogged into the end zone. So nice catch and run there by Los Alamos to retake the lead. So they've only had possession twice, and they've gotten 2 touchdowns out of it. And that ball is going to sail straight.
That's interesting.
Straight
Mike,
out of the end, out of the sideline.
I mean, that's interesting because he kicked off from the 40, and he was on the right hash mark. And that ball, I mean, it just it went. I don't know if he kicked it toward the sideline, but that thing went up in the air, and it just curved over to the other sideline and out of bounds. So inside the 35-yard line, just barely inside the 35. The option is they can make him kick over. They can take it where it went out of bounds, or they can take it on the 35. Most teams take it on the 35. That's what Bernalillo has decided to do.
Actually, if I were the Spartans, I might have made Los Alamos kick it over.
Yeah, really.
Just see what happens.
Yeah, move them back 5 yards. They've all been short. They're always short kicks. And they're going to hand it off to David Lianis. So Lianis around the right side, breaks the tackle. Wow. And I thought he was going to be gone, but he steps out of bounds. But boy, a nice run by him. But right there for the Hilltoppers was Chris Meyer-Dirks. And Meyer-Dirks was able to just bump him a little bit and knock him out of bounds. But other than that, I mean, he didn't have anybody between him and the goal line. Yeah,
if Meyer-Dirks doesn't just get just enough of Yanez, he walks into the end zone from 50 yards out because there was nobody there.
Not at all. It's first down and 10 now for the Spartans, and the ball at their own 48-yard line. There's a sideline pass for the Spartans, and that works pretty well as it goes to Mason Espinda, and Espinda going to be very, very close to the first down. And let's see where the spot is, and they're saying first down, and they haven't even spotted the ball down yet. Okay.
All right. So he picked up pretty much exactly 10 yards. So first down for the Spartans, but a quick sideline pass, and then couple of nice moves there by Spinda to get some room and pick up the first down. So Spartans quickly in business here.
Yeah, they really are. The ball's now at the 42-yard line of the Hilltoppers. And Castro, that little sideline pass, that sidearm throw, and that's a complete up to Jacobs Pino. And, yeah, that little sidearm that time by Castro. He gets it up to Jacob Pino. Pino is going to pick up 5 yards on the play. He's going to move it up to the 37-yard line of the Hilltoppers. And it's a 10-7 ball game right now. The Hilltoppers up. 7 minutes to go here in this first half of play on a fantastic Saturday afternoon for football here in northern New Mexico. And Los Alamos really enjoying some great weather right now. Another sideline pass, and immediately right there is Malachi Gutierrez. He spins away from Malachi, but he can't get away from Jackson Blair. So
so that's going to lose 4 yards for the Spartans.
Yes, it is. The Hilltoppers were all over that. And Malachi Gutierrez, I mean, Malachi coming in from that Malachi comes charging in and from the secondary, and
yeah, Malachi just really blew up that play because there was some blocking in front of the receiver, but Malachi able to slip through.
Pass down over on the sideline. Boy, nice route run that time by the receiver, and that's Mason's Spinda. So they line up on the left hash mark, and then Spinda, he just started off toward the sideline on the right side, and then he made a cut. And boy, I mean, I thought he was going to get a lot more yardage out of that because they made a cut over toward the sideline, and the pass was right to him. But the Hilltoppers able to recover fast enough to bring him down with 3 yards to go for the first down. So the ball right now is sitting on the Hilltopper 35-yard line. It's 4th down for the Spartans. And they'll this time run out of the pistol. That's a long pistol. That's all I got to say. And that handoff over the right side. He's going to be close to the first down. And
that was right at the sticks, and I think they're going to give it to him. That was
Diego Molinar.
Yeah, so rolling the dice a little bit are the Spartans, and it pays off. They're going to pick up about 4. So that's going to put them at the 31-yard line. So nice, interesting call there by the Spartans, but it works for them. 5 minutes remaining.
So 1st and 10 right now for the Spartans. And he pumps once, and now he's got a man wide open and nobody there. I mean, nobody there for Los Alamos. And Jacob Pino heading down the left sideline. And I don't know what happened to the Hilltoppers, but anyway, Uriel Castro, he dropped back, pumped once, and then took another couple steps backwards, looked downfield, and then he sees Jacob Pino. I mean, nobody even close to him from Los Alamos. I mean, he was coming down that left sideline, and there wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him.
Everybody on the Toppers bid on the pump fake.
Yes, they did.
And Pino, he could not have been more wide open if he was playing one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly.
That was incredible. So going for 2, Castro rolls out to his right and throws the ball straight into the ground. So that is going to be no good, but that's going to give the Spartans a 2-point lead, 16-14.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe how wide open he was. There wasn't anybody within 25 yards of him.
No, not at all. I mean, all that Castro had to do was just put the ball there and just close, because there wasn't anybody challenging Pino at all. But that he pumped once, and that apparently did it.
That wasn't the greatest pump fake I've ever seen.
No,
everybody bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, they really did. And so we're ready to go now. And that's I'm trying to see, is that Mason Espinda that's going to kick off? And yes, it is. Mason Espinda. Now there's a kick coming on the Malachi Gutierrez takes it, trying to come around the right side, and then he's racked up by the Spartans and coming over to make the stop for the Spartans that time, and that was Jake Encinias, and also in on the tackle for the Spartans was Brad Waddell.
So 4:47 remaining. Toppers down by 2. Back and forth ball game here. Just been an entertaining game so far. A little hard to predict, but it's been an entertaining game. Toppers, the Spartans have not stopped the Toppers on the defensive side.
The Hilltoppers, and then rolling out to his left, Evan Hoos after he faked the handoff to Teak Nieto.
Oh boy!
And he's not going to go anywhere as he tries to make the cut. And he was brought down there by Sean Armijo for the Spartans.
And Evan Host took quite the shot, and that was right in the bread basket. And he looks like he's okay, but Toppers are not super deep on the quarterback side right now. That was a pretty solid hit.
No, they aren't, because Stidham, like Mike says, is on street clothes over there, and Luke Gonzalez, who also would have been another backup quarterback, or not exactly a backup, but another one of the quarterback trilogy that they have, you want to call it. And but then Luke was injured, and now Zach Stidham's out, so Kyle Evanhus, and on that last play, the Hilltoppers picked up about 3 or 4 yards. Right now they're looking at 3rd and 2, and we have a false start called against, or encroachment called against Bernalillo, and so we've come down right now to 3:45 to go in this contest, and the Hilltoppers down 16-14. Fakes it to Teak, pass up the middle, intercepted, and going down the left sideline, and unbelievable. That was Sean Armijo, and he had a wide open run to the end zone, and he stopped and tried to cut. And why did he try to cut?
I don't know. And that was just enough for Malachi Gutierrez to get back and pull him down. Had he just kept going, he'd still be running.
Well, yeah. I mean, he caught the pass toward the sideline, and there wasn't anybody in front of him. And so for some reason, he had good blocking. And then for some reason, all of a sudden, when he got around the 30-yard line, he decided to make a cut toward the middle and didn't need to do that. But he had touchdown. I mean, he was touchdown bound. So it was Bernalillo with the ball once again. I think the Toppers have had the ball for a total of like 7 minutes, and I'm serious. Right up the middle, boy, I'm telling you, and there goes to David Leonis. Nice game, but there's a flag on the play.
That's right in the neighborhood of a hold, and Bernalillo walking back.
Yeah, well, that was a nice game by Leonis, and holding.
Flag thrown right at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, so it's going to march it back to flag thrown at the 25.
Or 25, excuse me.
Going to march it back to the 35. And 3:22 to go. Clock is stopped with the penalty. But Leonis had a nice run. But Bernalillo said the Hilltoppers have had the ball for a total of 7 minutes in this first half. Unbelievable. So we're going to have a timeout taken by Bernalillo, I do believe.
Yep, that is their first. Toppers have their full contingent of timeouts.
Oh yeah, got to hang on to those for the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you never know when you're going to need them. Never going to want to need them. But big play here. The Spartans we're down to the 27-yard line, and now backed up to the 35. But with 3:13 remaining. Hanging on to a 2-point lead. The difference in the ball game, that safety off of a Bernalillo punt, and nice tackle in the end zone. But Malachi Gutierrez trying to make a lateral move, and he was right at the goal line. And he got whacked pretty good at the goal line. He ends up in the end zone.
So the penalty moved them back, but the down stays the same. So it's still first down as they're back to the 35-yard line. So it's going to be first and 20 from that 35-yard line. And there's a little pass over toward the right side, and the pass is complete over there to Diego Molinar. And Molinar is
I think he's going to lose a couple of yards.
Yeah, he was hit right away.
So second and about 20 here for the Spartans. They're on the 38-yard line. They got to get down to about the 18 and a half. So a long way to go. Second down.
Yes, they do. It was first and 20. They pick up 2, and so Castro steps up. Long pass to the end zone. That's almost got him. Almost got him. Wow. I mean, Mason Espinda. And great coverage this time by Los Alamos back there for Los Alamos.
Yeah, good coverage, but that ball was it was just a little long. Had it been a yard shorter, I think Espinda comes down with that.
Oh, he does, because Kyle Evanhuis and Hayden Jorgensen was back there. I think Kyle was with him step for step, but it went over his head, and Espinda just barely missed that. That just hit him in the fingertips, but it was somewhat catchable, though it would have been kind of difficult. He fires a rocket, almost intercepted by Los Alamos, as Chris Meyerdirk's right there for Los Alamos. And he slammed into him, and he just kind of bobbled and finally dropped it. And we'll say hi to Chris Meyerdirk's grandparents. They tune in to Los Alamos football, Hilltopper football, every week from Iowa, the great state of Iowa.
All right.
Yeah. So my grandson lives in Iowa. And he has 2 children, but I have 2 great-grandchildren in Iowa.
Fourth down here for the Spartans. They're in punt formation. And, whoa, what was that?
I don't know, went off the side of his foot. And, well, that was kind of interesting because the ball went off the side of his foot and it hit inside the 20. And then it started to he was taking a Bernalillo bounce, and it still had some momentum. But running right there was Diego Vigil, and Vigil just decides that the ball bounced up. He just decided to go ahead and catch it. I mean, if he'd have let that go, it would have got another 10 yards. But they downed the ball. Long pass by the Hilltoppers, and that's overthrown and trying to go for the Mason Espinda trying to go for the interception. And he had a good shot at it. Kenny Suazo was the intended receiver for Los Alamos as that ball was downed on about the 13-yard line of the Hilltoppers. And like I say, it would have gone a lot further. But
on the throw, we're going to get a roughing the passer on the Spartans. Evanhuis was nailed. But they're going to say they went high, and I think they hit him in the helmet. So that's going to cause the Spartans 15 yards
and gives Los Alamos the first down. Evanhuis fakes a handoff, and it does give it, but he does give the handoff. He faked me out, and in the right smack up the middle, and he gives it to Tito Nieto. That was a good fake by Kyle, taking the ball as he kind of looked like he tucked it in himself. But anyway, Teak with a big gain up to the 41-yard line, and the clock now moving here with about 1:45 to go. Pass over to that right sideline again, and this one's going to go to Kenny Suazo. Suazo is going to move it up into Spartan territory, up to about the 45-yard line. So they love that sideline pass, and like I say, it has not been very successful, but boy, it's working today. And so as we come down now to 1:40 to go, as the clock stops, it went out of bounds. There's another pass over to Malachi Gutierrez on the sideline. He can't get to it, can't hang on. He drops it. So that's going to make it now 2nd down and 10. And they put the ball down on the, on the 46-yard line of Bernalillo.
138 remaining here. 2nd down for the Toppers. They are on the move.
Yeah,
and they have all 3 timeouts.
That's true. Evan, who's rolling to his right, option over to Teak Nieto. Nieto going around the left side. Evan, who's, I say, rolling to his right, he went to his left. And Nieto gets the lateral, and then Diego Molinar brings Teak down, but Teak picks up about maybe 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 as they move the ball up to about the 43, 44 yard line.
And that was a good decision to pitch it there by Evan Huss. And Nieto actually would have had some room, but that was a good one-on-one solo tackle there for the Spartans by Molinar. If he gets past Molinar, he picks up a good 10, 12 yards.
Yes, he does. So Hilltoppers take a timeout. And I want to remind everybody that next week the Hilltoppers have the week off. And then they go into district.
Boy, you remember Toppers for years and years and years. They either didn't have an open week, or their open week was a final weekend of the season, of the regular season.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And then what they had to do, well, we'll talk about it a little bit, but Evan, who's rolling back, a long pass downfield. He's got a man open on down at the 10-yard line. That's going to be pulled in and into the end zone. And there goes Hayden Jorgensen. So Jorgensen got open and behind his defender. And a beautiful pass by Kyle Evan, who's right to Hayden Jorgensen. And Jorgensen pulls it in and then trots into the end zone for the score. So it makes it 20-16. Now the Hilltoppers up by 4, and that touchdown coming with 1:19 remaining. And Hayden Jorgensen, who scored the touchdown, is now going to try to pick up another point for the Hilltoppers. The kick looks good, is good. So 1:19 remains, Mike, and the Hilltoppers take back the lead, 21-16. Crazy ball game.
Well, one-on-one deep route, one-on-one coverage for Jorgensen on the right side, and Evanos kind of threw a little bit of a jump ball at him. He pulled it down, and then the cornerback actually looked like he could have made a shoestring tackle, but Jorgensen able to shake it off, and he able to just boogies on into the end zone to give the Toppers the lead once again. So I think almost every score in this game so far has been a lead change.
Yes, it has. And Hayden Jorgensen teeing the ball up on the 40-yard line on the right hash mark. Last time it sailed over to the other sideline. Here we go again. This one's going to stay kind of in the middle. Fielded by the Spartans and trying to come and as pulling it down at that time was I think that was Josh or Anthony Willis.
Or actually, I'm sorry, I think that was Barajas.
Barajas?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Josh Barajas.
5'2", 218-pound freshman on the kick return. I'm sure he's really thrilled to have that assignment.
Yes, really. So we've got Uriel Castro, and behind him is David Leonis. And Leonis is their leading rusher. And this pass was supposed to go to Leonis. Leonis never turned around. He wasn't going he was just, I don't know if he was trying to be a decoy or what. He was just trotting toward the sideline. And then the ball goes sailing over his head with his back to the quarterback.
Who did see it, though, was Jahorn Quintana. But he was coming in. He was playing deep from the linebacker spot. Couldn't quite get there. Had he been playing his normal depth, I think he picks that off and runs it in.
Oh, yes. So, anyway, Liana said, well, he wasn't expecting it, obviously. And so Castro rolling to his right, and he's tripped up, but he does get the ball away. And the pass up to around the 40-yard line is incomplete. So they'll bring it back to the original line of scrimmage, which right now is on the 32-yard line.
So still 107 remaining here. Interesting. So 2 incomplete passes have stopped the clock. Toppers still have a timeout. They might be able to get the ball back and maybe have a couple of cracks at the end zone again.
Yeah, they really can, because it's if Bernalillo doesn't score especially if it's an incomplete pass, low snap, man open downfield again. Whoa, overthrows him. And he had that time. He had Nate and Cineas all wide open, but had 3 Hilltoppers chasing him, but he was ahead of the 3, and it passed just a little too long. But, Mike, what comes up now is what you were talking about, is an incomplete pass stops the clock again. So with 1:01 to go, and then, of course, they'll punt. And then as soon as the ball is downed, one way or the other, it stops the clock on a change of possession, and the Hilltoppers will still have 2 timeouts, and they can run a play and then have 2 timeouts. So they're going to punt it away again. No, they're going to fake punt down the left sideline.
Oh,
boy, that's dangerous. That gives the ball to Hilltoppers. Whoa, unbelievable. I cannot believe they did that. That's going to give the ball at the 32-yard line.
Sense. I mean, no sense whatsoever to go for a fake 4th and 10 deep in your own territory. It's going to turn the ball over. Toppers have 56 seconds and 2 timeouts to work with. That's plenty of time from this part of the field.
Yes, I mean, what fantastic field position they've given Los Alamos. Amazing. So the Hilltoppers will. Evans will drop back and he's going to throw a screen,
and that's going to get picked off.
That was Did he hang on? Was that intercepted?
I believe it was.
Yes.
That was.
Is that Michael Ash?
That was Diego Molinar with the pick.
Oh.
So wow.
Unbelievable.
And threw it right to him,
yes,
too. That was not even close. Looked like you were trying to set up maybe a screen, but
yeah, they were. That was the idea. It was a screen, and the pass was supposed to go Teak Nieto, but it wasn't even close to Teak. It just went right to Molinar.
Oh boy! So the Toppers give away a golden opportunity late here in this first half.
Boy, do they ever.
Yeah, wow, a lot of movement up front, I think.
Everywhere.
And they're going to call that on Bernalillo.
Yeah, false start on the Spartans.
Wow.
So that now will move the ball back.
That's our 3rd false start of this half. They're having a little trouble just getting on the same page. So, we don't know who that was on because Castro did not go and hit somebody in the side of the head. So we're not sure who that was called on.
Yeah, the ball at the 29-yard line right now. 1st and 15. And Castro's trying to go up the middle and running a slant pattern that time with Mason and Spinda as he came over from the right side and slant across the middle. But took a pretty good angle, pretty big angle, because he didn't just cut right across behind the line of scrimmage. He was up about 20, 25 yards up the field.
So, Jane, right now Castro has misfired on his last 7 passes.
So now they're looking at 2nd and 15. So
this last minute is taking about 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, really,
we're not even close to the end of it.
No, we're not. As they hand the ball off this time to Diego Molinar. and Molinar
going to get about 3. Did the Toppers call timeout? I think they did. Yep, Toppers called a defensive timeout with 39.9 seconds remaining. Exactly.
Yes.
So third down coming up.
Third and
Spartans have not been shy in the last 2 minutes of throwing the ball and risking stopping the clock here. So I think Garrett Williams rolling. Well, yeah, I mean, you might as well burn those timeouts. I mean, he's probably got 15, 20 in the bank so far.
Oh,
so
yes, at least.
I'm surprised he hadn't just used one of those.
So we got third down and about 12 or 13 for the Spartans with 40 seconds to go. And here in the first half, the Hilltoppers up 21-16, a 5-point lead for Los Alamos. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, John Cobos, the head coach of Bernalillo, I mean, he's Mississippi gambler, boy, I'm telling you. He'll go for anything. So let's see what he comes up with this time. That fourth down take punt was, I mean, that was so unbelievable. And then hand the ball over to the Hilltoppers to immediately throw a screen, intercepted screen. It's going to go the sideline all the way up to the 50-yard line. So rolling over to his left and coming back to his right, which is not easy to do. And a nice pass by Castro. And he gets it up to Mason Espinda. And Espinda runs out of bounds. And so Espinda gets so that'll stop the clock with 33 seconds to go.
18-yard pickup and a first down for the Spartans.
So it's the first and 10, and here come the house, and so Castro can't find anybody to throw it to. He decides to run it himself. He's buried there at the 44-yard line. But now the situation is as it cranks down, we're down to 15 seconds to go. So I'm not sure if Garrett would just bother to call a timeout at this point.
And it looks like the Spartans have no interest in running another play. So that's going to do it here for the first half. So Toppers with a 21-16 advantage at the break. Wild first half here between these two teams.
We've had everything.
Yeah, no, you name it, we have had it. So that will do it for now. But yeah, wow, the end of that second quarter, the Toppers handed the ball deep in Bernalillo territory with plenty of time, and the Toppers promptly turn it over. And boy, that was you worry about plays like that. That is definitely one that come back to haunt you.
Yeah, they don't run a whole lot of screens, but
well, I think we've seen why. that pass intended for Teague Nieto, that went straight, and I mean straight to Diego Molinar.
Yeah,
if Molinar was able to keep his feet, that's a huge return that he's looking at.
Oh yes. Absolutely. So anyway, we've got some this broadcast being brought to you by the Los Alamos Daily Post and Carol Clark. And we really thank Carol for picking up the ball for us when we thought we were over as the unfortunate demise of KRSN. But we do the Daily Post now brings you these contests, and I do it on their YouTube channel. So as you notice, as you're watching, you hear us, and then John McHale and Nate Limbach are down on the field taking pictures, and those are the pictures that you see. They put the still pictures up in the video part, but those are action pictures from the game. So anyway, we have some nice sponsors. We really appreciate their support of Los Alamos High School Athletics. And we're going to send it back to Charlene, and she's going to let you all see who our sponsors are, and we'll be back.
Hi there, my name is Kristen O'Hara, and I'm the Director of Interpretation at Pajarito Environmental Education Center. We are the nonprofit that runs the Los Alamos Nature Center. Bears are active in Los Alamos during spring, summer, and fall. New Mexico Game and Fish recommend the following 6 bear-wise basics to keep you and our bears safe. Do not feed or approach bears. Whether it's unintentional or intentional, feeding black bear in our community is incentivizing them to come into our residential neighborhoods for food. And we do not want to do that. They are wild animals. They're equipped for finding food themselves. Our people food is not the best thing for them. As far as approaching bears in the wild, it is best to stay away from black bear. If a black bear hasn't seen you and you happen to see one across the street from you, take a moment to have that beautiful experience, but do not approach a black bear. Make sure to secure your garbage cans and recycling. Bears have a very keen sense of smell and can rip open garbage cans very easily, so having them secured with some sort of bungee cord or something to keep the lids down is the best way to keep our bears in our community safe. Remove bird feeders during prime active bear times. Black bears in Los Alamos are active anywhere between the very end of April, May to the middle of November. So during those times, anything we can do to keep our bears safe by not giving them food is better for bears and better for us. So at night, for instance, at the Nature Center, we take down the bird feeders that we have outside and put them back up in the morning. So that is something you can do. But if you do have a bear at your house that has eaten from your feeders, make sure to take your feeders down for a length of time around 2 weeks, so the bear does not acclimatize to coming to your house for food. Do not leave your pet food outside. If you happen to feed your animals outdoors, put your food bowls out there, make sure your animals have your fill, but make sure you bring them in after your animal is done eating. That'll, again, keep the bears safe. Clean and store your grills. That means cleaning your grills thoroughly, removing all fat and food that could have dropped in the base of the grill, and then storing it in an inaccessible place, so a place the bears cannot get to, like a garage or even inside your house, if that's a possibility. I know not everybody has a garage, but just keeping in mind a good place to store a grill that is away from that can be away from bears accessing it. And I guess our last bear safety tip is to tell your neighbors, communicate with your neighbors and your friends about bears that have been spotted in the area, or these safety tips that you've learned here today. The more knowledge we can give to our neighbors and our friends, the better, and it will keep our bear neighbors and our human neighbors as safe as possible. Good luck, toppers, on your season.
Greetings, Hilltoppers. I'm Brian DeAndrea of TechSource Incorporated. We are a science and engineering consultancy headquartered in Los Alamos, and for over 20 years have been providing the hard-won knowledge and skills from this community to organizations around the nation. It is our pleasure to support Los Alamos and Hilltopper sports. Good luck and have fun. Go Hilltoppers!
Join the University of New Mexico Los Alamos for the exceptional education. Join us for the small class sizes. Join us for the quality faculty and staff who are dedicated to your success. Whatever your reason for joining us, start here, go anywhere. Go Hilltoppers!
Well, it's great to see Topper sports season kicking off again. I'm Troy Hughes. I'm the fire chief here in Los Alamos. And we're glad to see COVID kind of waning and people getting back to their normal activities. One of the things that hurt us during this time period was our lack of people. So we need recruits. We need cadets to come to work for Los Alamos Fire Department. It's a great career, very rewarding, good pay, good benefits, great retirement. You get to work out and maintain your Topper strength. So we're hoping that a few good people will come to work for us in the next year, and we hope that the Toppers win, so go Toppers.
Hello, I'm Deputy Chief Oliver Morris of the Los Alamos Police Department, and I just want to take a few moments of your time to talk about some safety initiatives that we want to bring forth to the community as the 2022-2023 school year starts in Los Alamos. School is right around the corner, and we want to remind parents and students to make sure that you leave enough time to get to school on time so we're not rushing. As you can see behind me, all school zones are 15 miles an hour when students are going to school, even if they're not present. So let's slow down and just make sure our students are safe. Secondly, I want to remind us that when the buses are stopped and their stop signs and lights are activated, we want traffic to stop in both directions to allow time for students to cross the street to keep them safe. The other thing I want to talk about is our school campuses. It's important to remember that during school, campuses are closed to the general public as well as the playgrounds and facilities while school is in session. This also includes Sullivan Field and the Sullivan Field parking lot. We want to make sure that school is meant for just school hours and school staff. Please check in with the staff regularly if you're going to be planning on visiting our campuses. We have a long history at Los Alamos to have amazing school resource officers. These officers are there to provide an atmosphere of safety and security for our students and faculty, but they're also there to foster positive relationships with students. So we use our school resource officers just to ensure that everything is safe in our schools. The other thing I'd like to direct our community to is on the losalamosschools.net website. If you click on the safety and wellness section, you will see that there's the See Something, Say Something app. This app is a great tool to report anything that has to do with safety, whether it's bullying or whether it's a suspicious person on campus or anything you think is safety related for our schools. Please use this app to report any suspicious behavior so that we can work in concert with the Los Alamos Public Schools to make sure everyone is safe. And that's the final message that I have for you today. And I just want to make sure that we have a safe and fun school year, and go Toppers.
Well, back at Sullivan Field on a beautiful afternoon for football here in Los Alamos. And the band now performing down before us. And the score right now, 21-16. And like Mike said, one crazy, crazy ball game. I mean, we've had everything in this ball game. Everything. I mean, the only thing they haven't done is kick a field goal. So other than that, we've seen most everything else. But the score right now is 21-16. The Hilltoppers up as these two teams, every time, like Mike pointed out, every time a team scores, the lead changes. And so Mike's been keeping track of all this crazy stuff. So he's going to give us a quick rundown on that first half.
Absolutely. So the Toppers drew first blood in this contest. They're scoring at 8:58. So the theme for today's ball game has just been ball control by Los Alamos.
Yes.
You'd think they'd let the Spartans touch it once in a while.
Yeah, really.
But 8:58, the Toppers, Kyle Evanhouse sneaks in from a yard out, and on a 20-yard drive that ended in a touchdown, 7-0 in favor of the Toppers at the time. Then at the 4:36 mark, on a punt by the Spartans, Malachi Gutierrez tackled in the end zone. That gave the Spartans a safety. And that made it 7-2. They would score again early in the second quarter with just under 2 minutes expired in the second quarter. Nice pass from Uriel Castro, and he found Mason Espinda from 11 yards out. And or excuse me, 4 yards out, and that touchdown gave the Spartans a 10-7 lead at the time. Los Alamos just 2 minutes later would score 33 yards out. A nice catch and run by Gutierrez from Kyle Evanhuss. 33 yards. Nice. That was down the right sideline. That gave the Toppers a 14-10 lead at the time. Then the Spartans would come back 4:54. Another nice touchdown pass from Castro. This time he would find Jacob Pino, 31 yards. And I don't remember the last time I saw a receiver that wide open. There was just nobody there. And they dropped Castro dropped a pass right over his shoulder. That was for 31 yards. That gave the Spartans a 16-14 victory, or a 16-14 lead, rather. And then with 1:19 remaining, Evanhuss finds Hayden Jorgensen one-on-one for a 43-yard touchdown pass, and 21-16 with 1:19 left in the half. That's where we are right now. So we got about roughly 5 minutes until we get back to action here. Just some quick stats for you. For the Toppers, Evanhuss, he completed 5 of 10 attempts for 100 yards. Unfortunately, had 2 interceptions. That second interception really on a screen pass attempt, and that one turned the ball over with the Toppers just getting the ball back deep in Spartan territory. But that interception cost the Toppers a chance to really add on to that lead and really put the Spartans in a bind. But 100 yards throwing for Evanhuss. On the ground, the workhorse for Los Alamos has been Teak Nieto, 9 carries, 59 yards. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but rolled off a couple of 13-yard runs. And so good, solid game for Teak Nieto. The Toppers in total 162 yards in that first half. And, you know, the Spartans barely touched the ball in that first half, unfortunately. the Toppers had it a good 7 minutes out of that 24. So, yeah, it just the Toppers just all quick strike, and the Spartans just very, very methodical down the field, and they've just absolutely dominated the time of possession in that first half. Interestingly, the Spartans ended up with only 165 yards, just 3 more than the Toppers had in that first half. For Castro, he was 12 of 24, 50%, and no picks, 116 yards for him. And for also for Bernalillo on the ground, David Yanez, a senior, not a big guy. Actually, none of the Spartans super big. Yanez ended up with 8 carries for 38 yards to lead the Spartans. 116 total yards through the air for Uriel Castro. So that's where we are. So and like Gene said, we saw just about everything there was to see in that first half. Saw interception, saw a fumble that was a Spartan fumble that was picked up by the Spartans. Couple of long passes, just a whole lot of stuff going on. We have not seen a field goal yet. That is literally the only type of score we have not seen so far.
Yeah, we've seen a screen and an interception on a screen. That's one thing, you know. And interestingly enough, Kyle Heaven, who's dropped way back, he did a good job of executing the screen. Teak Nieto set himself up about the line of scrimmage, but then the pass went right smack to Molinar. And so anyway, both teams are back now out on the field, and they reset the clock at 3 minutes. We're down to a minute and a half to go, and then we will be underway. This is not very much going on in Hilltopper sports this week. The girls soccer team entertained Bosque on Tuesday night. It was 10-2 ball game. I mean, Bosque was 10-2, 10-2 on the season. We thought, and they came in. It was interesting. Mike and I did that game. It was interesting because in the first half, Bosque did no offense whatsoever. All they did was play defense. They kept everybody on one side of the field, but they had one athlete, Rose Candelaria, who we were just absolutely amazed at her. Only a freshman, and her athletic ability was just unbelievable. And she took off down the field. They were chasing the ball, and the Hilltoppers were about 10 yards ahead of her, and she just blew right by them like a machine. But a lot going on today. This football game, the boys and girls soccer teams both went to academy. Volleyball went to academy, so a lot of activity down there. And then the next week for the Hilltoppers, the Hilltoppers volleyball team is going to go down to Espanola and for a district contest, and the girls soccer team is going to play Moriarty here. That's also district, but I do believe what we're going to try to do is to go down to Espanola for the volleyball game. And then on Thursday, let's see, the girls play Taos here. And on Saturday, the girls play Aztec here. We're not sure we haven't set our schedule yet. we kind of have to do it one week at a time. Bernalillo kicks off. Starts the second half. Bounces around, finally picked up by the Hilltoppers trying to come back, and that's Malachi Gutierrez, and Malachi can't get away from the Spartan coverage. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Los Alamos. The ball's nose of the ball right at the 25-yard line. So the Hilltoppers had not had a whole lot of trouble moving the ball. Like Mike said, they had the ball for 7 minutes in the first half and scored 21 points. Unbelievable. So, yeah, well, we were talking 17 minutes for the Spartans as they hand the ball off to Teak, and Kyle Evans, who was leveled. I mean, coming in and trying to get there in time was Javon McChristian. Boy, I mean, he really dumped Kyle as Teak was hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he was able to charge forward for about 4 yards. So it's going to be 2nd down and 6.
Evans was on the keeper, and he's brought down in the backfield. I think he was trying to hand that ball off, and the running back didn't take it. Not sure what happened, but Evan has no blocking in front of him. That looked like the running back went to the point of attack. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, so Evan, who's the ball is whoa. I think his arm was hit when he threw the ball. He rolled back and he had a lot of pressure, and it looked to me as just as he was bringing his arm up, I think his arm was hit because the ball just suddenly took a kind of a moon ball, just a big bell curve, and then came down to Hayden Jorgensen, and Jorgensen is far enough down the field to get a first down, but I'm pretty sure they hit his arm. But anyway, they do get the first down out of it. And now they're going to give it to Teak. Teak is going to go, he's going to come from the right side, and then he's going to cut across and try to go over left tackle. And he's going to pick up maybe a couple of yards, Mike. 2nd and 8 as we sit here, and the ball still in Hilltopper territory at the 43, with the Hilltoppers hanging on to a 5-point lead in a race. And now the ball gets loose. Unbelievable. They tried to hand the ball up. Kenny Swaza went in motion. And as he came around by Kyle Evans, Kyle tried to hand him the ball. Kenny couldn't hang on. So the ball was actually dribbling in front of him, an end-over-end dribble. Kenny was finally able to catch up with it, but as when he caught up with the ball, Bernalillo caught up with Kenny. So they lost on the plane. There's a flag. Whoa.
That's going to be another offside penalty on the Spartans.
Yeah,
they're just having trouble at the line of scrimmage. That's at least the third offside on the Spartans, and they've had 3 false starts as well.
Yeah, they started. Hilltoppers were on the 37, their own 37. They're now on the 42, and they're 3rd down and 9. And a pass on the right sideline. Nice pass. Great catch by Kenny Suazo. Kenny is just cutting down that right sideline upfield. He was about 20 yards upfield. Beautiful pass by Evan Hoos. And Evan Hoos is able to get it over to push. Door keeps flying open.
And we're going to get a penalty on the Spartans, too. It's thrown after Suazo was pushed out of bounds. I'm not sure what they called. But anyway,
getting really windy.
12-yard catch for Suazo plus the penalty.
Yes. So Teak Nieto takes the ball this time, and he goes over the right side, and he picks up a. Well, let's see. Is it going to be a first down? Yeah, he picks up 10 yards, and so the Hilltoppers wasting no time in the huddle. They gave it to Teak again, but he sits at the line of scrimmage, and now there's a flag comes out right away.
I think that's going to be motion on Los Alamos. I don't think they were set.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, they just kind of no huddle, and boy, they set it up in a hurry. So Michael Ash made the stop for the Spartans, and the official still talking things over.
Let's see. Three flags on the field. So they're calling illegal substitution on the
Spartans.
On the Spartans, I think they must have been trying to run somebody off and didn't get there in time.
Yeah, apparently so. And they sent somebody in after everybody was set. You can't do that. So anyway, illegal substitution. That's another 5-yard penalty that moves it up. And that's apparently after the run by Teak, because it's right now it's still first down, but it's first down and 3. So apparently they give Teak the run, and then they tack on the 5 yards. Right now it's 2nd down, and about no gain on the play on that last run, on that last play by Los Alamos, and they give it to Teak again. And so this time what they did was they sent Kenny Suazo in motion. Kenny ran right in front of Kyle. Kyle faked a handoff to Kenny. Then on the delay, flipped it around over and handed it inside handoff to Teak. And then Teak was on the left side, tried to go to the right side. Bernalillo said nothing doing, absolutely nothing doing.
3rd down and short here, just on the 10-yard line.
They give it to Teak again, and this time he's going to pick up the first down as he's inside the 5. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Hilltoppers.
Little misdirection there by Los Alamos. That pays off as Teak goes right through right guard. They're back on the line of scrimmage already.
Really. And Evan Hughes gives it to Teak again. And he's going to pick up a yard or two. Let's see where they're going to finally put this down. He was at about the 5-yard line, so now he's at the 4, and Los Alamos is already up there. So the Hilltoppers running this no huddle offense like it's the end of the ball game, and they're just wasting absolutely no time. This time they do give it to Kenny, and Suazo is going to cut over left tackle, and I think he's in the end zone for the score. Yes, he is. So they've been running Kenny in motion and then faking it to him and handing it to Teak. This time they handed it to Kenny. And you see that cut? I mean, my God, talk about cutting on a dime. I mean, he was going full blast to his left. The next thing I knew, he was going straight up the field. Fantastic cut. And now here comes Hayden Jorgensen. and wants to extend the Hilltopper lead. It was a bad snap. They had a lot of trouble getting it down, but they do. Hayden does get it across.
That'll make it 28-16, 6:53 remaining. So about a little over 5-minute drive there for Los Alamos to start this first half, and they have their biggest lead of the ball game, up by 12. So a nice drive by Los Alamos, a very good use of a quick pace offense there. Los Alamos just wasting no time, not going to the no huddle, and caught Bernalillo off guard, and then nice cap off there by Suazo on the inside handoff. Nice cut in, and he gets the touchdown. So Toppers trying to get puts a little bit of distance between themselves and the Spartans.
So here goes Jorgens. Whoa!
Oh, ball flew off the tee.
Yeah, it's gotten a little breezy here, and at Sullivan Field, and even here in the press box, it's blowing papers around. But so now Jackson Blair is going to hold the ball for him, and wow, they should do that every time.
Wow,
normally when Hayden kicks off the tee, it goes about 20 yards, about 25 yards in the air, and then goes about 20 yards down the field. Boy, that was a fantastic kick. I mean, he had all kinds of distance and into the end zone.
Yep, easily in for the touchback. And no, I agree. They should just have a holder there.
That's the best kick we've seen Kyle make all year long. Hayden.
So 28-16. So Spartans will start the ball on their own 20-yard line, see if they can answer Los Alamos' touchdown.
So they're going to give it to David Lianis. Lianis makes a nice cut around the right side, and he's going to pick up some pretty good yardage. He gets enough for a first down.
We have a flag, though, back at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, God.
Boy, they had quite a few flags in this contest, and yes. Bernalillo is walking back.
Yeah, we've seen some games with flag-happy referees. This hasn't been too bad, but going to be holding.
Boy, that's going to wipe out a great run there by Yanez.
Yeah.
And but Yanez, if he can slip that first tackle, he's really giving the Topper defense a lot of trouble trying to bring him down.
Yes, he really has. And so that they're saying that the hold took place right at the 20-yard line, so they move it back to the 10. So now it's going to be first down and 20 for the Spartans. And on the delay, they're going to give it to Lianis coming around the left side, makes a cut. He's going to go all the way. Say goodbye, everybody, to Lianis. Wait a minute. Here comes Malachi Gutierrez.
Oh, Gutierrez ran him down inside the 10.
He was gone. But, boy, tell you, talk about afterburner. Malachi Gutierrez caught him up around the 5-yard line. And they're going to put it down, I believe, at about the 7. But that was a fantastic run as they lined up. They had first and 20, and they just handed it off. It was just a little simple handoff to Lianis, and he just headed over. He lines up on the pistol behind Castro. So Castro just turned around and just handed him the ball, and he just took off to the left sideline and broke one tackle. He only had to break one, and then he was gone. And he was way ahead of everybody. But Malachi Gutierrez does come from behind and catch him. Unbelievable. But first and goal now for the Spartans. And they're going to give it right up the middle. And this is going to go to Diego Molinar. And I think he's going to get up around the 5-yard line. So he looks like he's going to pick up about 3 yards. So it's going to be first and goal now from the 5. Yes. Nose of the ball right at the 5-yard line. And the official kind of putting his foot on the ball to keep it from rolling. It's getting really breezy here. So out of that pistol they go once again. And so he was trying to get it in the middle to Mason Spinda, but I mean, it was like trying to throw it through a forest. I mean, there was nothing. I mean, in between Castro and Spinda was nothing but Hilltoppers and Spartans.
Wow, that was a dangerous pass. There was a tiny window to throw into.
I guess.
And Castro lucky. Nothing worse happened with that other than incompletion.
Yeah, I mean, that was a Spinda. He had his arm up behind everybody, but I mean, they're going to give it to Lianis. Lianis breaks the tackle, but he was caught in the backfield. I was coming over to catch him in the backfield that time, and that was Kyler Young, but he was able to spin away from Kyler, but he couldn't get away from Teak Nieto, and so Teak brings him down right about the 4-yard line. So it's going to be first and goal, or let's see, what is it, fourth down now? Fourth and goal from the 4. And we'll see what Bernalillo is going to come up with. They're going to pass. Rolling to his right. Pass is going to be in the end zone, intended for Mason Spinda. Spinda wants an interference call. He's not going to get it.
No. So Castro rolling to his right, and then he threw that off his back foot and obviously sailed on him. And Spinda did pleading for pass interference. He didn't see a whole lot over there to concern myself with. But in any event, the Toppers force the 4 and out. So turnover on downs for Los Alamos. They're going to get the ball deep in their territory, but big stop there by the Topper defense.
Yeah, and they're going to give it to Teak Nieto, and he's going to pick up some pretty good yardage up the middle. But David Lianis, he came around that left side there from his own 10-yard line and took off down the field, and it was, I mean, he broke by everybody. He was gone. I mean, he was way ahead of everybody. It was like he's on his way to pay dirt. Boy, I mean, Malachi Gutierrez, wow. Boy, he just came out of nowhere and caught up with him. So we have a major scrum right there over on the left side of the line, and
it was second down, about 3 for Los Alamos. Can the ball to Nieto again, and he goes absolutely nowhere. Well, they're going to give him about a yard.
Yeah, but I mean, my God, he was gang tackled by about 5 Bernalillo Spartans. So there's a pass over on the sideline. This one is going to go to Nico Garcia, and Garcia is going to get it up to around the 25-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down. And boy, nice tackle that time by Mason Espinda. I mean, he came over and did a lone tackle, and he just flipped Nico over. So the Hilltoppers go back to Teak Nieto once again. No, it's going to be no Nico. Nico back there right now with Kyle Evanhoots.
And this has been what the Toppers have been doing. They've kind of been platooning Nico and Teak Nieto first half and second half. So this has kind of been their MO, as we're going to have looks like another offside call on the Spartans.
Yeah, they got back there and they set up, and Kyle had Nico on one side and Teak on the other. Had kind of a long count, and then he clapped his hands. And as soon as he clapped his hands, one of the Spartans jumped off sides. Quick pass on the sideline to Teak Nieto. Nieto has one man to beat, and he just goes right around him. Now we have a race to the end zone, and they're going to catch him stiff arm by Teak, and that was that. So he caught that ball, Mike. took down the right sideline. He had one man to beat, which he pretty much went right around. Then it was a race, and catching up with him was Nate Encinitas, and he tried to reach out to try to get to Nate. He's only 5'8", 149 pounds, and of course Teak is you're looking at Teak as a 6'1", 215. Anyway, he just put his hand in his helmet and just pushed him away.
Boy, oh boy, that was a stiff arm. There's just nothing he could do about it. It's like you ever did that to your little brother. Just put your hand on his forehead. He's trying to grab something from you, and he can't do anything.
Yeah,
that's it. Looked a lot like that. But,
exactly.
70-yard catch and run by Teak Nieto, and just showing his speed and then showing some power as well. So Teak is really been a great weapon for Los Alamos back there. He's just, you look at his legs, they're like tree trunks.
Oh, yeah.
He is just very, very powerful, and he's tough to bring down, and his huge game here for Los Alamos against the Spartans, and puts the Toppers up big here with 2:24 remaining in this third quarter.
Yeah, they line up in a shotgun with Teak and Nico Garcia back. This kick is going to be short by Hayden Jorgensen. It's going to be fielded and still going and still going. My God, is that Diego Molinar?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
He was one of the upbacks, and he caught it, and he ran about 70 yards,
yes,
but he got a decent return. So the Spartans going to have pretty good field position here. Right about the 42, 43-yard line. Yeah, but the Spartans have a hole to dig themselves out of. Toppers up by 21 now, or excuse me, 19.
Yes, and it's and Diego, he did a great job of running. And he cut back to his left, and it looked like he had some opening, but the Hilltoppers closed it up in a hurry. But he does get the first down. And Castro intercepted. The pass is coming down that right sideline. There goes Teak Nieto, and Teak Nieto is going to take it up to about the 15-yard line. Teak Nieto, he is what they call the Mike, and one of the inside linebackers, and so the pass, Castro dropped back and he threw it right smack to Teak, and Teak just took off down the right sideline, and they were able to shove him out of bounds. And let's see, they're going to spot that ball where about these 17-yard lines, 17-yard line.
So timeout taken here by Bernalillo before the snap, but things quickly unraveling here for the Spartans. Meanwhile, the Toppers have just completely taken over this ball game with the Teak Nieto touchdown, and now an interception there by Teak as well, and he just bowling down to set the Toppers up once again in great, just inside the 20-yard line. So, wow, just fantastic. And this was a back and forth ball game at halftime, and Toppers have just completely taken it over.
Yeah, completely. Bernalillo did have that long run and a chance to score, but they just couldn't get it in past the Hilltopper defense. So the Hilltopper defense held them there at the 5-yard line. So it's going to be, and we have a 2:05 to go, but the Hilltoppers are in great field position right now at the 17-yard line of Bernalillo. And the quick pass is intercepted by Bernalillo. Coming down the left sideline, Kyle Evan, who's tried to get it up, and Brad Waddell right there to pick it off for Bernalillo. Unbelievable.
Holy moly. Oh. Second time the Toppers have been deep in Bernalillo territory and have thrown the interception. And boy, that pick could not have been easier.
No, it couldn't. He threw it right to Brad.
Right between the numbers, no problem there. So boy, oh boy, and another opportunity lost. Fortunately for the Toppers, they still having themselves a very nice third quarter, but boy, oh boy, that was a big opportunity to shut the door.
The ball on the 30-yard line, and they're going to hand it to Lianis. Lianis trying to come around the left side, and he is gang tackled by let's see, Nico Garcia coming off of the pile, and Ticnieto getting up off the pile.
Yana's going to pick up about 5 yards, though, 2nd and 5. But, he took a wallop right there at the end. And the Spartans, like we were saying, these are not big guys, especially their skill players. They are very, very undersized.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Castro, he looks like he should be playing at middle school. So, anyway, he's going to air it out. Oh, no, now he's going to run. And he's going to slide. All right.
That was a good idea there because he was about to get lit up.
Yes, he was. He started to pass, decided that everything broke down, so he decided to carry it himself and went for the slide, and he moved it up to about the 38-yard line. They need to get to the 40.
Well, 3rd and 2 should be the final play of this third quarter here. About 30 seconds left. But big play here for Bernalillo. If they're going to try to claw their way back in this contest. Meanwhile, Topper defense, huge play for them as well.
Give it to Lianis. Lianis around the right side. He's got some running room. He's going to pick up the first down. I do believe he's close. Very close to the first down. And they're going to move the chains.
Yeah. He needed exactly 2 yards, and he got exactly 2 yards.
Yeah, at first I thought he'd picked up about a yard more than he needed, but then when he went down, it was right at the chain.
So that'll do it for the third quarter. 35-16 in favor of Los Alamos. Huge third quarter for Los Alamos, and huge quarter for Teague Nieto, an interception and a 70-yard touchdown run to put the Toppers in a very, very good position heading into this final 12 minutes. You're listening to Los Alamos Daily Post and their broadcast of Hilltopper football on the YouTube channel. And, of course, we want to thank the Daily Post so much for picking up that ball and running with it. And, we are just thrilled, Gene, to be back here on the air and to bring you Topper football. This is – the October 1st. Where else are you going to be?
Exactly.
You're going to be at the football field. And
Saturday afternoon, October 1st.
Cannot beat it. It's a beautiful day. Just a little breezy, and this breeze kind of came out of nowhere. It really wasn't a whole lot of wind up until about the start of the second half.
Yes, exactly. It was nice and calm, but it's the shadows now starting to come in from the west side, but still a beautiful day here. Like I say, a little breezy, and so here we go and start the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. That the ball is right smack at the 40-yard line. Castro dropping back. He's under a lot of pressure, trying to get out of pressure, and he was under all kinds of pressure, and then he just at the last minute he saw Sean Armillo, and he was about to get hit, and it wasn't a pass. I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like he just kind of flipped it. I mean, kind of flipped it upfield over to Sean Armillo.
It was kind of like in baseball, it's the second baseman kind of flicks it over to the shortstop, trying to pull off a double play. That was the same thing. It wasn't a throw.
No, he just got, like you say, right in the middle of the field. They get it to Mason Espinda, and Espinda is going to move it up to about the 40-yard line, and he was wide open. He just cut up. I mean, they were down around the 45-yard line. He just cut up field, and he was about 10 yards upfield, and he was wide open. There wasn't anybody even close to him. And a perfect pass from Castro, and Espinda is able to pick up the first down and get it down to the 39-yard line of the Hilltoppers. As we are in the fourth quarter, it is 35-16. The Hilltoppers 14 unanswered points in that third quarter. But now Bernalillo moving the ball. And we have 10:40 to go in the quarter, and I'm going to give it to Diego Molinar. Molinar around the left side. He's very, very close. He gets it inside the 5-yard line.
Wow.
I mean, boy, great run that time by Diego Molinar. So some of these Bernalillo runners have been kind of surprising. They start off and kind of in a little bit of traffic, and then they make a perfect cut, and he just cut to that sideline, and then he just headed down the sideline. I thought he was going to make it all the way, but they do pull him down, and they finally pull him down about the 8-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10, the 1st and goal from the 8. And
Yanez on the left side. Did he get through?
Well, there's no indication, but apparently, yeah, he took off to the left side. There was all kinds of traffic over there, and all kinds of white jerseys and green jerseys, and he was like he was held up. I think he must have stepped out of bounds, but it looked like he was held up, and then next thing we know,
he got in.
Next thing we know, he shot out of the pack.
Holy moly! Yeah, they're putting it on the board.
Unbelievable!
How did he get through that?
I don't know how he
did. There's 22 guys on the field, and 20 of them were in front of him. How did he get through that?
I mean, it was just one big, humongous rugby scrum over there, and the honest was delayed, and he ran into that pack, and then all of a sudden, a couple seconds later, he comes out of the pack. But they're going to go for 2 once again. And so they bring Molinar up, but they're going to pass the ball, and this is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, and trying to get it in the corner right at the pylon, but that one sails a little bit on Castro, looking for Sean Armijo, and that ball well offline. So score will remain 35-22. I can't believe Giannis got through that. I can't believe anybody got through that. How did that happen? There was just tons of people over there, right there on the left side. Almost everybody that was on the field was right there, and Giannis somehow snuck through, and he gets into the end zone.
Yeah, and it wasn't a run like he just ran and got into the pack and then broke a tackle and went. I mean, it looked like he just ran into the scrum and just got, like trying to run through a bunch of bushes or something, but and then all of a sudden he just shot out of there. So there's the kickoff is going to go out of bounds.
It's going to sneak out of bounds off a long roll, not a long kick, but got a big roll, and 2 or 3 toppers could have picked it up, and they all decided to let it go, and that was the correct decision as it does squirt out of bounds. Meanwhile, one of the Spartans is kind of down on the sideline, and I think that's Yanez. And he's kind of, he's now up, and he's walking back toward the rest of his teammates on the sideline. But I think that was Yanez, and they were stretching him out or something. But he was right around the 10-yard line. Out of bounds, obviously, but I guess it looks like he's okay now.
Yes. So the Hilltoppers just go right now with the old bread and butter play. Hand off to Tignieto, right over right guard, and he's going to pick up about maybe 5, almost 6 yards.
Toppers in no huddle here.
Well, there's movement everywhere. Everywhere.
There was a lot of movement ahead of the first play, and nothing called. Let's see what they call here. I didn't think the toppers were set. And apparently the official agrees. Why are the toppers going no huddle here?
I don't know, and they're moving in a hurry too. They're wasting absolutely no time to get up that line of scrimmage.
2 touchdown lead, and they're playing like they're 2 touchdowns behind.
So Kyle Evans, who's back there in his shotgun, and he's got and he's going to roll to his right, option play. He's going to go to his left. He's going to flip it off to Tique Nieto, and Nieto is, I mean, he's just right there. Diego Molinar, the first one there, and then to come over and finish it off with Sean Armillo, and then Sean turns around and sticks his hand out to Tique and helps him up.
That option fooled absolutely nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
As soon as
whatsoever.
Evan Huss got around the left side, everybody went straight at Tique. Nobody was even looking at Evan Huss.
Yeah, so Evan Huss.
Oh boy, dangerous pass over on the right sideline. That was nearly picked off for the Spartans by Espinda, and that pass just a little bit too high for him to catch. He's able to catch that. He walks into the end zone.
Yes, he does.
Holy moly!
So here we go with 4th down.
What are the toppers doing on this series?
I'm not sure, but
two very quick plays and then a dangerous pass.
So Hayden Jorgensen is going to punt it away. Classic Hayden punt, and this goes high in the air. He kicked it from about the 25. Came right. I mean, it came straight down, and landed on the 45-yard line, and then took a bounce. But it's actually landed on the 50-yard line. Anyway, it ends up on the 37-yard line, and the Spartans have it on their own 37. It's going to be 1st and 10 with 8:43 remaining. Hilltoppers up by 13, 35-22.
The Toppers only ran a minute and a half off the clock there, Gene. If the Spartans can do something with this possession, it is anybody's ball game.
Yes, it is.
I don't understand that series by Los Alamos at all.
Quick pass, just a snap back to the shotgun, and as soon as Castro caught it, as soon as he caught it, he just flipped it over to the left side. The receiver over there with Sean Armillo lined up on the left side. Actually, the ball was on the left hash mark, so Armillo had lined up close to the sideline, but it was just catch and throw. So he picks up about 5 yards. So it's going to be 4 yards, 2nd and 6. And Diego Molinar goes in motion, and they're going to hand it to Leonis. And Diego Leonis up the middle breaks the tackle. He's going to pick up the 1st down as he gets it inside Hilltopper territory. Nice run that time by David Leonis.
Yeah, but he's going to pick up 10, and the Spartans in business. 7:50 remaining. Oh boy, I'm still scratching my head about that last Topper possession. Two no huddle plays and then an incompletion. That I don't get it.
Yeah, really. So Bernalillo will line up, and there's the same play again. A quick pass, a catch and throw. As soon as Castro catches it, this time he throws it to the right to Mason Espinda, and so Espinda is going to move up about. Let's see where they're not going to pick up a whole lot of yardage, but he is going to get it up to the Hilltopper 46-yard line, 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7 with 7:08 the clock moving here in the 4th quarter, 35-22. But like Mike says, if Bernalillo can push that down and score, that's can change the complexion of this ball game a lot. So Castro pumps once, and he's got that man wide open again.
Oh no!
Same play. Unbelievable.
Oh, no.
The exact same play they scored on in the 1st half. Holy mackerel.
Oh, wow.
Jacob Pino once again. And I don't understand what it is, Mike. He drops back, and it's not a tremendous. I mean, he just dropped back. He makes a quick pump, but he pumps once. Then he just steps back, looks downfield, and Jacob Pino is wide open. I mean, wide open.
The exact same play with the exact same result. Just a quick pump fake by Castro. And then Pino, there was again nobody was within 15 yards of him.
No, he was so alone out there. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, he just my God. I mean, and it's just I don't understand what it is about that play, but
it just everybody on the top or secondary completely bought the pump fake once again. Pino by himself. You know, the only thing could have happened is he tripped over the 10-yard line or something, and there was nothing to stop him. And this is a 7-point ball game.
Yes, it is. All of a sudden,
and plenty of time left. Yeah, 6:42, unbelievable. So I don't think I'm hoping the Tigers don't play any more of that no huddle offense.
So
I holy mackerel.
Yeah, I mean that was something else. So the 12 unanswered points now for the Spartans here in the fourth quarter, and the line drive kick is taken at the 5-yard line, and the Hilltoppers on the reverse. They give it over to Malachi Gutierrez. So, and the ball's on the ground.
I think Los Alamos jumped on it, but Malachi was tattooed and could not hang on. One of the toppers fell on it. I'm not sure who it was, but oh boy, we toppers are playing with fire.
Well, are they ever? It came down to Pasulka, and Pasulka just he just started off, and then he caught it, and then they went the reverse and they handed it off to Malachi. So now it's 1st and 10 for Los Alamos on the. Let's see, about the 30-yard line. And so again to Nieto. He's going to try to come around the left side. And we have two, looks like two.
One of them sort of popped up
and walking around. Is having a lot of trouble getting up, so
they're gonna check on him, and wow, he's had quite the game. That is unfortunate.
Yes, it is, and so, but that crazy play that they run, it's just they line up kind of, and then Castro drops back, and he has a couple of partners drop back to block for him. And then he pumps once, and like Mike said, it's not a real fantastic fake, but it's good enough. And then he pumps once, and then takes a step back, and then down the field is they're on the right hash mark. That's the same thing they did in the first half. And hey, John. So anyway,
yeah, he does that pump fake, and then Jacob Pino and anybody within 20 yards of him disappears. So, but wow, and well, you saw that coming as soon as Pino running kind of a skinny post route, but you completely saw that coming, and then just everything evaporated around him. You know, the pass dropped right in his lap, and boy, oh boy, and 6:06 remaining, a second down, virtually no gain on that pitch out to Teague Nieto. And so big couple of plays coming up here for Los Alamos.
Yeah, so Evan Hoos dropping back, and he's going to be swarmed over. And coming in to grab him and drop him down was Chris Sanchez, I do believe. No, Yeah, Chris Sanchez, the young man that was that got up so slowly on the last play, and this time he's able to get in there and get to Evan Hoots, and so Evan Hoots goes down for a big loss. So that's going to make it third down. So this game is getting more and more interesting, Mike.
Yep, third down and 20 for Los Alamos, 5:20 remaining. And in this part of the field, I don't know how much the Toppers are going to want to mess around.
Yeah, they're going to try a screen and going to get it to Tignieto, and he's still going. I don't know how he did, tiptoeing down the sideline, but I don't think he's going to make the first down. But they got it to him, and he was covered immediately by the Spartans. But somehow he was able to just break loose. But he was tiptoeing down the sideline, and he actually got down to about the 45-yard line. But he had stepped out of bounds at the 38.
Toppers are going for it, Gene.
Yeah, on 4th and 3. I think first thing they're going to do is try to draw him off, but they didn't.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly what Los Alamos was trying to do, and actually that's not a bad idea. The Spartans have been had trouble staying on their line of scrimmage pre-snap, but are able to hold. The Toppers call a timeout. I couldn't believe that they were going to go for it there at this part of the field. Oh boy, that would have been something else. But the Toppers call a timeout. They have 2 remaining, and let's see what they want to do. There's no way they can go for it here. I would love to say there's no way they could go for it here, but we have seen some crazy stuff in this game, and it's not impossible.
Yes, if they get stopped here, I hand Bernalillo the ball in a 7-point ball game.
5:11 remaining, so plenty of time here. The Toppers have not been able to run any clock here in their 2 possessions in the 4th quarter.
No, the thing I don't understand is, they're trying to draw them off sides. Then you take a timeout. Why don't you just take the penalty? You save the timeout. You're only going back 5 yards.
Yeah, at this stage of the ball game, 5 yards it doesn't cost you anything.
So they are going to punt it away. And so Jorgensen with the kick. And this one is going to be, it comes right smack. To Nate Encinias. And Encinias, he caught it. It was just kind of a low elevation punt. And it came right to it. It's Nate. And Nate on around the 30-yard line or so. But I thought he was going to get more out of it. But he does get it back up to the 36. So good downfield coverage by Los Alamos. But Mike, here we go. 5:03 remaining, 7-point ball game. This is shades of a few years ago when Bernalillo came charging back against the Hilltoppers. But Bernalillo on the goal right now. The Hilltoppers are the only one who scored in the 3rd quarter. Spartans are the only one who scored in the 4th quarter. Castro's got all day, and he's got Spinda open, but he just overthrows him. But Spinda going down the right sideline, and he was open, but let's see the coverage back there for the Hilltoppers.
Here goes Malachi, and Malachi's
limping a little.
He is slow to get back to the defensive huddle. Yeah, he looks like he's having some left leg problems there.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
They're about ready to go, and Malachi's still walking.
He hasn't gotten back to the line of scrimmage yet.
No. So
and I promise you, Castro noticed that, but he's going to hand it off to Yanez.
Yeah, David Yanez. There he goes again down that left sideline, and he's going to pick up the first down. So David Llanos has done a good job here, but he does move the ball up to the 49-yard line of the Hilltoppers. 4:50 to go. Clock is stopped as he was pushed out of bounds. 7-point ball game, 35-28. And the Spartans now They haven't. It's interesting, Mike, too, because on the field, on the point after, they haven't tried a kick yet. They've been for two, so it'd be interesting if they do score a touchdown. What would they do? Now they're gonna. So they get set, and Castro, little short pass right over the line of scrimmage. I mean, about 2 yards up the field from the line of scrimmage. As he got that to Sean Armijo, and Armijo was tackled immediately. They pick up. It's a 1 yard gain.
Yeah, so it's going to give him a yard.
2nd and 9, and 4.5 minutes to go.
By the way, Gene, in this second half, Yanez 113 yards on the ground.
Wow.
So he's having quite the second half. And that includes that 83-yard run earlier that resulted in no points.
Yes, exactly. So Castro, nobody down there. And he was under tremendous pressure that time. And coming from that time, that was coming from the Hilltoppers by Donovan Allen. And
Allen's got a couple of licks on Castro in this ball game.
Yes. Donovan, they introduced everybody on the football team before the game started. And then they had each one of them just say, well, they indicated who their favorite teacher was. Donovan's favorite teacher was Garrett Williams. And then Jim Starrett even got the nod. David Leanis around the right side. Cut down the sideline, and he's finally going to be run out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. But a nice run by Leanis. 4 minutes to go exactly as he goes out of bounds. That stops the clock. And Bernalillo on the move. And David Leanis has been going, and they're going to say that he went out of bounds at the 23-yard line. So the 24-yard line, they put it down. Well, let me correct that again. 28-yard line. I can do this.
20-yard pickup there for Yanez, and 4 minutes remaining. Clock's. Oh no, he went out of bounds. So 4 minutes remaining exactly.
Yes. Pass to the sideline, and that's going to go to Sean Armijo. Armijo breaks one tackle. He finally gets up, and he's finally brought down over there by Jackson Blair and Hayden Jorgensen. But he picks up 9 yards on the play, and now Bernalillo was on a 19-yard line. And second down and 1.
This fourth quarter, they have had no trouble moving the football.
No, they have not. So they line up once again, a second down and 1 from the 19-yard line. And Josh Kobos wants to come up with. He's going to drop back. There's a by Uriel Castro and the quarterback draw, and it's successful as he gets it up to the 13-yard line. I do believe it's the 13.
Yes, so 6-yard pickup and the first down. So 250 remaining, and the Spartans are knocking on the door. Remember, they're down by 7, and they have not attempted an extra point.
No, they have not. They've gone for 2 on everything. So Castro, he puts in motion now Diego Molinar, and he's going to give it to Leanis and let Molinar block for him. And coming around the right side, and boy, they gave it to Molinar, and he just came around, and he just Leanis, he gave it to Leanis, and then Malachi Gutierrez was waiting to tackle him, and he just lowered his shoulder into Malachi's gut, but the clock is stopped. The clock is moving. 2 minutes to go. And right now it's going to be second down and 3. And the ball's at the 6-yard line. Unbelievable. So, and they give it off this time again to Leanis, and he's going to be in the end zone for the score. It's a 1-point ball game.
Holy moly.
A 1-point ball game. As the Hilltoppers are up 35-22. Let's see, 35, more than that at the end of the first half. What was the score at the end of the first half? 35-16.
Yeah, it was a 19-point lead at one point for Los Alamos.
Yes.
The Spartans have cut it to 1, and I think they're going to go for 2 again. This very well could be the ball game right here.
Oh, absolutely. So, well, they apparently don't have a kicker, so they're going to go for 2. Unbelievable. So they call a timeout.
Timeout by Bernalillo.
Yes.
And wow, unbelievable
ball game.
So yeah, 19. Toppers were up 19 at one point, right at the end of the third quarter. 3 touchdowns on 3 possessions by the Spartans. And the Toppers, with a couple of possessions in this quarter, have been unable to use any clock whatsoever. Those 2 possessions by the Toppers were it wasn't even close to 4 minutes.
No, it was not.
So that's where we are, and the Spartans have really put it on. The second touchdown of this fourth quarter by Yanez, who is just been almost unstoppable here in the second quarter, and then a 44-yard touchdown pass from Castro to Jacob Pino, and here we are, and the Spartans looking to take the lead, the Toppers trying to hold on.
Yeah, so this is it. One of these teams are going to win by 1, and they're just going to let Uriel Castro run it himself, and he's not going to make it.
No. Wow, what
I don't understand that play at all.
No, I didn't. I think that was Jackson Blair that finally brought him down. What a game Blair has had on the defensive end, and that keeps the Toppers with a 1-point edge. I imagine we're going to see an onside kick here coming up with 1:45 left, but holy moly, Blair coming up big. But yeah, the Spartans have been able to do whatever they wanted, and that was kind of a nothing play there, and a huge on a 2-point try that they needed.
Well, I don't understand. Just a direct snap. They're in a pistol formation, a direct snap back to Uriel Castro, the quarterback, and then he just catches it and runs into the line. I mean, they must have had a better play than that lined up and for this situation. I mean, why aren't they using Leonis, or at least hand the ball off to him or to Molinar, one of the two? But right now it's 1:45 to go, and they're going to onside kick, and Bernalillo is going to get it, but they didn't go 10 yards.
No, it went about 6 yards, and I think one of the Spartans accidentally kicked it trying to pick it up. So that is going to be a penalty. The Spartans will have to do that again. I think they did actually come up with a ball, though, but the ball has to go a minimum of 10 yards.
Yes.
So, well, Toppers should not decline this. I'll tell you that, because the Spartans picked up the ball, so they're going to have to redo it.
Yes, well, a long discussion out there by the officials. Let's see what the official's going to come up with here. He's going to tell us it's a illegal procedure called against the Spartans, and they're going to kick it over, a 5-yard penalty. No, they're just going to give them the penalties. It's just going to be they're not going to kick it over. It's just going to be a 5-yard penalty.
And they're going to give the Toppers a ball at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, 1st and 10, and the Hilltoppers with
fumble.
Picked up
the Spartans have it.
Whoa, he's going to go. He's going at the inside the 15-yard line. Whoa. Oh, my God. I don't believe this game. Unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness. Chris Sanchez picked up out of the air. Teak Nieto with the handoff, and he was just pasted behind the line. The ball popped out of his hands right into the air, right into Sanchez's hands, and he rumbles down to the 13-yard line. Unbelievable.
It's a crazy. I mean, the Hilltoppers had this ball. All they had to do was kneel down a few times. Bernalillo only had one timeout left, and the Hilltopper decided to go for it. And so right now, Bernalillo, they can unbelievably win this ball game. Comes to David Leonis. Leonis around the right side. And Leonis is going to make it up to about almost to the 5-yard line. I think he's going to I think they're going to put it down about the 6.
Oh, there's a penalty flag down at the 16-yard line.
Well, that'll kill Bernalillo, I tell you. Especially if it's a holding.
Let's see. Yeah, it is a holding penalty.
Whoa, that kills him. 10 yards.
10 yards. So it'll still be first down, but that's going to make things a lot harder than from the 25-yard line. Now, still a minute 25 to go. This still plenty of time. These Spartans do have one more timeout, so they still have their whole contingent of plays. But that is a huge penalty.
Well, yeah, they were down to the 5-yard line. So, yeah, so the big penalty, and so they're going to put David Leonis in the slot this time over on the left side. And
a lot of confusion on the defensive side.
Yeah. Castro fires one in the middle. It's going to be caught by Josh Armillo. Armillo struggling to get across the 5-yard line, and he does. And he gets up limping, but 1:16 to go. The clock is stopped while they move the chains.
There is a flag. I think that's going to be on Los Alamos, but let's see. But
let's see.
Well, I'm not. Oh no, they're walking the ball back.
Unbelievable.
So we have not gotten a call yet.
No, we haven't.
There we go. So
illegal procedure.
Yeah, and there was a lot of, but there was a ton of confusion on the Toppers side, on the Toppers defensive side. Just some obvious motion by the Spartans.
Bernalillo, every time they come to Los Alamos, it's snake bit. every time. So, pass to the sideline is overthrown. As he tried to get that to Jacob Pino.
I think that was a backward pass. That might cost the Spartans a couple of yards.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, no, they're gonna call it a forward pass. I don't think it was.
No, it not. Yeah, you're right. And so they still have the Jacob Pino play.
Yeah, that has been unstoppable today. I wouldn't be super surprised if we saw that here.
Pump once and go.
So let's see. Pino over in the slot on the right side. We'll see what happens.
No, it's at the 30-yard line, and so he shows pass and then it tries a draw play to Leonis. And Leonis is going to pick up a few yards. Let's see. And where they're going to, let's see, they're going to put it down on the 26-yard line.
About a 4-yard pickup. The Spartans have to call their last time out.
And interesting enough, because of the penalties, Mike, they have to get to the 1-yard line to get a first down.
No, so they got 48. They got 48 seconds. So they, they clearly were in 2-down territory. But I don't know how you play this. They're gonna. I don't think you try to get the whole thing here, but you don't have a lot of time to waste. You might have to try something. Maybe 10 yards and toward the sideline. I don't think you can pick this up in one shot.
Oh no, this is 3rd and goal right now for Bernalillo. Castro rolling to his right. He's going to run himself. He's going to run out of bounds. So he's going to run out of bounds up around close to the 10-yard line.
Mark him out. Looks like right around the 15. He got shoved out of bounds. I think that was Suazo that pushed him out of bounds.
Yeah, they're going to put it down at the 15. 41 seconds remaining. But it's fourth down right now and 12. They can make a first down.
The Spartans can make a first down.
Yeah, if they get inside the 1, they get a first down. But this could be the last chance for the Spartans, as they're going to get snake bit again here in Los Alamos. But boy, I'm telling you, they've had a whale of a fourth quarter. And so here we go.
Toppers call a timeout.
Whoa.
So that'll do it. Well, no, or do they have one left? The Spartans out of timeouts. That's kind of academic at this point.
Yes.
They said the Toppers still have one timeout remaining. So 41 seconds left, but fourth down.
Two very costly penalties. I mean, they had the ball inside the 5-yard line.
Yep. And the couple of Bernalillo is they're not a fan of Sullivan Field. I can guarantee you that. They are not fans of this facility.
Well, I mean, what a crazy game. I mean, there was a back and forth in the first half. Los Alamos dominates the third quarter, scores 2 touchdowns, and completely dominates. And they come out the fourth quarter, and then Bernalillo completely dominates the fourth quarter. Hilltoppers did nothing in the fourth quarter.
No, they absolutely did not. And Spartans with one more opportunity to pull off a highly improbable comeback here. 41 seconds remaining, fourth down, and about 13.
Well, they're going to kick a field goal. They're going to try a field goal.
They are going to try a field goal. We have not seen the Spartans attempt anything today in terms of a field goal or extra point. And the Toppers call another timeout. They can't do that.
No, it's illegal. It used to be. I guess, I don't know. It used to be you couldn't call in football, you couldn't call back-to-back timeouts.
No, and the Spartans are complaining about that. And unless there's been a rule change, they are 100% correct.
Yes, and the coach out there trying to talk to the officials, but he's right. They can't call 2 timeouts in a row.
So that must have been, they must have changed the rule on that, because the Toppers have called now 2 timeouts in a row, and the coach John Cobo's getting an explanation, and he was not particularly pleased with the explanation.
No, here we go.
Here we go. Field goal. We have not seen a field goal in this game.
No, Jacob Pino will hold, and David Leonis will attempt the field goal. And this is going to be a 33-yard field. Whoa!
It's a fake.
It's a fake, and
oh my God, he's in!
He scored a touchdown. Unbelievable! Do you believe that? They faked the field goal, and they end up scoring a touchdown. Holy mackerel.
My goodness.
Jacob Pino lined up as the holder. The kicker was going to be David Leonis. And then when they snapped it to Pino, he just threw the ball straight up in the air. I mean, straight up. He just grabbed it, threw it straight up in the air, and then Leonis just caught it on her. He just took off running, took it right out of the air, and headed for the end zone. And so I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either. There is some controversy on the field. The officials are talking. Giannis, they gave him there was a touchdown signal.
Yes, there was, and they put the ball down on the 3-yard line. Now they're going to go over and talk to the Bernalillo coach. And
we have had no indication of what's going on here.
None whatsoever.
So I didn't see a flag until after the play was over. So, well, the ball is on the 17 yard. That would be a 15-yard penalty from the 2. They have not put the touchdown on the board yet. I have no idea what's happening here.
Yeah, I do not either. And so
they got a first down out of bounds, and then there's an unsportsmanlike foul.
So they're going to say Giannis did not get into the end zone.
no, he went on they're going to say he went out at the 2. 35 seconds remaining.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm not sure where the
And the Spartans were called for unsportsmanlike conduct. Hand off to Yanez, and he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's trying to get to the sideline, and with 27 seconds to go. And one of the things that happened was that after they thought they scored the touchdown, somebody from the Spartans grabbed the football and threw it way up in the air. Like he's just like basketball. He's just heave it up. He just took the football and tossed it way up in the air because they thought they had scored, and then that might have been what they called the unsportsmanlike conduct for.
Oh my goodness!
Which, if they did, I mean that's pretty ticky-tack.
Yeah, that is poor. If that was in fact the call.
So second down and about 15 yards, and running with it, and now trying to pass it away, but they may know a receiver over there. They may be. Did they throw a flag? I didn't see a flag.
Well, interestingly though, Castro threw it backwards. That is technically not a pass.
No, it isn't. That's the same as a fumble.
So yeah, there was nobody over there.
18 seconds.
And you know what? That's exactly what he had to do, because if they had tackled him, the game would have been over.
Yes, it was. I thought that was it. I thought they were going to tackle him in the middle of the field. That would have been the end of it. But right now it's third down. The ball right now at the 20-yard line. And so this should be the last chance. Bernalillo. So here we go. Castro back. He's going to pick it up. And finally he just throws it to one of his coaches over on the sideline. He was going to try to pass it away, but he was under a lot of pressure. And so right now it's going to be fourth down. So here we go. Fourth down, the ball at the 20-yard line. So it's essentially 4th and goal for the Spartans from the 20.
Unbelievable. I can't believe this last couple of things, but I am stunned they threw a flag on that celebration.
Oh, absolutely.
When he looked like he was in there. I can't believe they did that.
He's down to the 2-yard line, and then they get that penalty. So here they go. Castro, the quarterback, in the pistol formation. And dropping back. He's going to the end zone. And this one is going to be, I think it's intercepted, I do believe. Yes, it was. It was intercepted for the Hilltoppers. But of course, that I think that interception, I think, was Jaron Quintana.
Oh my goodness!
Anyway, so 7 seconds to go. Unbelievable! Wow, what a ball game! So anyway, one kneel down for Los Alamos, unless they try to run it and get a fumble.
I can't. I would not put it past anything past this game right now.
No, absolutely. So there's the kneel down.
Is that a shotgun kneel down? There's a flag on the field.
Yeah, there is. Game's not over. 3.6 seconds remaining.
Is that a shotgun snap?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't understand. Why didn't he get under center? Anyway, unsportsmanlike conduct called against Bernalillo.
Oh, come on.
So then they're running the clock, so that'll do it.
Oh, my goodness.
So the Hilltoppers pull it out 35-34. And Bernalillo just went to town this fourth quarter. Penalties just killed them. They had some fantastic runs and fantastic plays, but I'm telling you, the penalties just killed them. But they get down to the 2-yard line on a fake, and so they did pick up the first time. They got down to the 1. So anyway, about the 1-yard line, and they did pick up the first down, amazingly. And then the 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. Unbelievable.
So I have to side with the Spartans on this one. The initial call on the field was a touchdown by Yanez, and they were celebrating the craziest comeback maybe of all time.
Yes.
And they threw a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, they were all celebrating.
That is absolute garbage. That was a garbage call.
Yes, it was.
And I completely understand the Spartans' frustration right now. That was a horrible call. They had what they thought was the go-ahead touchdown. They were celebrating. There was, and the call was changed to say that Giannis stepped out on the 2-yard line. I can't believe they threw the flag on that. So I completely fall on the side of the Spartans on that one.
Well, yeah, it was ridiculous. They just won the ball game. The guy in the end zone, they just won the ball game, and so they're all celebrating, jumping up and down. So one of the players throws a football in the air, and they get hit with that unsportsmanlike conduct. And of course, that did it, because I'll guarantee you, if they hadn't called that penalty, I mean, it was going to be touchdown Spartans on the next play. So
that was unbelievable. My goodness, what a crazy second half we just went. First half was very entertaining, and then the second half was just nuts. The Toppers looked like they were about to slam the door on the Spartans. Had a huge third quarter. The Spartans come back, score 3 touchdowns, and an apparent fourth in the fourth quarter. Very nearly pulled this one out, but the Toppers escape with a 35-34 victory in the craziest game I have seen in a long time.
Oh, yeah, they're leading 35-16 at the end of the third quarter, and then it was all Bernalillo in the fourth quarter, and that was that. So anyway, unbelievable ball game.
Wow.
So the Hilltoppers pull it out. So they win the ball game, and so they go now. Let's see, they go to 3-4 on the season. Bernalillo goes to 2-5, and no, they're not 2-5. They were 2-3 coming in, I guess.
Yeah, 2-4.
2-4.
2-4 for the Spartans, but wow, what a unbelievable contest that we just witnessed. The Toppers hang on to pick this one up, in just crazy game, crazy finish. Boy, this was an absolute nutso contest. And boy, this is the most fun, I think, football game we have seen in a long time.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, it was interesting all the way, that's for sure. So anyway, so that'll do it. The Hilltoppers don't play next week, and then in 2 weeks they'll head down to Monzano to start the district play. So they open next week. And so anyway, final score is 35-34, and this is Gene Mortensen for Mike Mays and John McHale, and for Carol Clark. and the Daily Post, who made this ball game on the air possible, and it was a good one. So have a great weekend, everybody, and you can make it an even better weekend. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug that penguin, but the most important thing you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And Sweetie Pie, it was a good game. It was a fun game. And I love